The following is a presentation of Born Braves Baseball, the 2009 Cape Cod League champions.
The 2021 season was a year of unprecedented success for the Born Braves.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and the Born Braves are off to a perfect 5-0 start in 2021.
Oh my goodness, the Braves do it again! Win number 20 in the most dramatic fashion.
0-1 and Wallace sends a drive into left field. The Braves have won it!
After a 24-9-3 regular season earned the Bravos the President's Trophy, the Braves battled all the way to the CCBL Championship Series.
Swing and a miss! For the first time since 2017, the Born Braves punched their ticket to the big dance.
But the team came up just 2 games short.
Brewster defeats Born in the championship series of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Now, as the calendar flips to 2022, a slew of fresh faces come to Doran Park, including the man in charge.
The Born Braves have hired Scott Landers as the team's new field manager.
And with him comes just one returning star.
Smacked into right center, that's gonna get down. The 4th RBI for Joshua Moylan.
But that doesn't mean the Braves aren't loaded from top to bottom.
This one taken high and deep to left. Is that gonna get out of here? Jumping up, it's gone!
And swings, broken bat, lofted into right field. That's gonna fall for a base hit. Swing and a miss, strike three.
It's a brand new full season of Born Braves baseball, and it starts right now.
Doubleheaders are not the friend of the Born Braves, and the Bravos learned that the hard way on Sunday when the Braves got swept out in Brewster. But tonight, a chance for revenge against Hyannis and an opportunity for the Braves to grab their first conference victory of the season. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Doran Park alongside Max Tanzer. I'm Calvin Cristoforo. Max, I mentioned it, doubleheaders. The Braves don't have a win in the 4 games they've played this season. Luckily for them, it's 9-inning games the rest of the way out, and tonight an opportunity to grab a win against a West Division foe for the first time all season. And granted, we're a third of the way through the year.
Absolutely, and you're going to get the Commodores a couple of times later in the week here, so it's been mostly the East if you're the Braves so far to start this season. And again, we mentioned the offensive struggles the last couple of weeks. The majority of that based off of executing with runners in scoring position, but you go back to last Sunday, Calvin, and again, just 2 runs on 6 hits combined in the 2 games. They were ultra aggressive against that Brewster pitching staff, who just threw 88 pitches in Game 2 as a tandem, or I should say the entire pitching staff in total, and that was something that Scott Landers was very emphatical about in this post-game conference with the team, about how aggressive they were and giving up free outs. I mean, we zoomed through that game. Brewster faced the minimum 3 times in the 7 innings. The other 4, they faced 4 batters in those. So I think the approach tonight may be a little bit more patient.
That game, granted, it was 7 innings, lasted less than an hour and 45 minutes. The Braves getting just 1 run on 3 hits. That was the line in Game 1 and Game 2. Tonight, they play a Harbor Hawks team they also scored a run against when these 2 teams matched up on Saturday night. So what do the Braves need to do besides waiting back? I know that's one thing, but how do they put the ball in play and get runners home?
I think it's being selective, or I should say, trying to get a good pitch to hit in certain counts. I think they came up to the plate back on Sunday just swinging at any pitch that was near the strike zone right there. Again, we saw a couple of hurlers who were throwing the ball hard, upper echelon of the 90-mile-an-hour portion of the radar gun. So I think it's being cautiously selective and picking those good pitches to drive right here. And then when you get those runners in scoring position, I'll be curious to see if Scott Landers is a little bit more aggressive with some small ball approach, because that's something we haven't seen too much from him, and it's something that is almost extinct in baseball these days. But again, when you're not driving in those runs with swinging the sticks, you might have to find some more creative ways to do so.
And yes, it was a small sample size because the Braves didn't get many base runners on in scoring position on Sunday, but the Bravos once again just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position in the doubleheader against Brewster. On the mound tonight, it is the 2nd appearance and the Doran Park debut for the Vanderbilt right-hander Bryce Cunningham, who was really special through 3 innings of work in his first outing at YD on last Tuesday. But then in the 4th, it was a completely different story. Allowed 5 runs on 4 hits, What changed in that inning, and how did he replicate his first three?
Well, the biggest problem was that nothing changed. If you look at his pitch usage the second time through the order, again, majority fastballs, ticked up the slider usage just a little bit, but again, it was the same exact usage rate on all three of those pitches that he had his first time through the order. So I say second time through, mix it up a little bit more, give them a different look. And again, this is a Hyannis offense that has been swinging it really well as of late, so he's going to have to be really careful.
The Birds scoring about 5.5 runs per game in their 5-game undefeated streak, a span where they're 3-0-2. So Hyannis looks to keep it rolling. The Braves trying to get back up to 500. Should be a fun one here at Doran Park tonight. First pitch just about 15 minutes away. So you know what that means. It's time for the fastest 15 minutes in baseball with Ethan Frank and Mac Friday on Before the Bravos. That's coming up next.
We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugouts.
The Bourne Braves will be holding youth clinics this summer. They're for boys and girls ages 5 to 12, plus we'll offer 1 week of clinics for ages 12 to 15. For more information, visit the 50/50 table near the concession stand or visit our website at bournebraves.org.
Win or lose, there's always a Brave that sticks out on the field. Head over to our YouTube channel by searching the Bourne Braves, or head to @BourneBraves on Twitter and catch the post-game interview every night with a player of the game on game night with me, Ethan Frank. And as always, you have a say on who gets to chat with me. Tweet at us @BourneBraves and use the hashtag Player of the Game to submit your pick for the POG.
The stars of the Bourne Braves can't perform well with an empty stomach, and neither can the best fans in the Cape Cod League. Hungry at Doran Park? Visit our concession stand down the third baseline, serving your favorite ballpark classics, including hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn, cold drinks, and more. The concession stand at Doran Park is the place to go, because the only thing better than watching the Braves live is watching the Braves live with a hot dog in your hand.
First pitch is right around the corner. Now back to Before the Bravos, the official Bourne Braves pregame show.
Welcome to Before the Bravos. After a road game and an off day, the Braves are back at Doran Park. And Mac, it is great to be with you.
Great to be back with you, Ethan. Beautiful weather, beautiful day, beautiful ball game coming up. Couldn't be more excited to be here.
It seems like the sky always clears as fans descend upon Doran Park.
No, as they hear Before the Bravos, the sky clears.
And it is no different tonight. For the second time in 4 days, the Braves will be taking on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And Mac, we have to start by talking about Bourne's hitting right now, because it is nowhere to be found. It is lost. I think I'm really good at hide and seek, but I don't even know if I could find out where the Braves offense has gone.
It's not a great situation. It's not. 6 hits over the last 2 games, 2 runs scored in that doubleheader against Brewster. Pretty brutal day overall. They certainly did swing the bat well last time out against Hyannis, but were not able to put together those extra base hits, score the runs, allow hits to score runners from those opportunities. It just really wasn't a great 2 days for the Bravos. Offense and pitching not really working together. Just hasn't been a great time in the batter's box.
No, and Scott Lander's shaking things up with his lineup tonight, as Matt Shaw will be leading off for the first time this season. I caught up with him a little bit before the game, said he's mildly excited to be back in the leadoff spot, so it'll be interesting to see. We've seen him in the 2-hole. We've seen him batting third so far this season for Bourne, but tonight, the first time, he'll be leading off the game for the Bravos. And Bryce Eblin moving up to the 2 spot in the lineup. So that's obviously great for me, 2 former Amsterdam Mohawks.
There you go.
2 guys I know very well. But it's interesting to see how they'll perform as a tandem at the top of the lineup. What do you think about the move?
I think it's a good move, and Bryce Eblin is kind of the more concerning out of the 2 in terms of getting on base. Matt Shaw, red hot right now. 7 for his last 13 with a couple stolen bases, a couple walks mixed in there. He has been incredible, one of the best hitters on the Cape over the last 2-3 games. Nonetheless, Bryce Eblin hasn't really produced the same as Matt Shaw has.
He's picking things up of late.
Yeah, he's been a solid option in the middle infield, and then we saw him be that winning run against Hyannis and work his way all the way around to third, but get stranded at the end of that game for the 1-1 tie. He led off that inning with a single. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
So he's been more productive as of late, absolutely.
He has, and I just mentioned Scott Landers. Landers had a lengthy post-game talk with his team after the Bravos got swept in a doubleheader by the Whitecaps on Sunday, and really his main message was, you cannot try to ambush, specifically from a hitting perspective, you cannot try to ambush every single pitch, because that's what the Braves were doing. They were swinging early in counts, and they were not letting themselves get any sort of advantage over Brewster's pitching, and that's what led to, 2 runs on 6 hits in 14 innings? That's not going to cut it against a single Cape Cod League team.
Not at all, and it was a lengthy conversation with the team, but it was not a lengthy conversation in postgame with me because he wanted to get out of there. Scott Landers, I asked him, usually lead off with the question, just overall thoughts on tonight's game. One word, awful. He was not happy. I asked him about kind of the message that in the post-game huddle that Ethan was talking about. It was, you got to have an approach. No matter if it's a tie game in the bottom of the ninth, if it's you're losing by 6, you got to have an approach when you step into the batter's box. You got to be looking for what you want rather than just swinging all willy-nilly like they were. And that was really his message, that you have to have an approach, you have to stay solid in it, and you have to do it every single time you come to the plate and be consistent rather than just be inconsistent, swinging all over the place and being, I don't know, wild.
What do you think? How do you think the team responds after an off day to Landers' impassioned speech after the game on Sunday?
Certainly, we hope that the team responds well. They come out, they swing the bats, the pitching dominates, does what they need to do, get on the same page, and just be the Braves team that you know you can. And you've been in the past, but you just got to get out of this funk. It's as simple as that. Got to get out of your funk, got to stay to your approach, and if you lose that way and you have 5-7 couple runs on the board, 5-7 hits, you can kind of be a little bit more satisfied with yourself than you were in the doubleheader.
Exactly, and this is the second time in 4 days, as I mentioned at the top, that the Braves are taking on the Harbor Hawks. So Saturday started that string of games where the Bravos only scored 1 run on Saturday, 1 run on Sunday in Game 1, 1 run on Sunday in Game 2. That 1-1 tie almost even felt like a loss. We were talking about after the game. How does this team respond tonight, and how do you think they fare facing a team for the second time in just 4 days?
You got to
at the same ballpark.
You got to take advantage of what the situation gives you. You have the same ballpark, a very similar lineup for both teams through the past 2 games between each other, but you can't do what you did the last time, which is strand the bases loaded with 1 out on the board, or have 2 runners in scoring position with no outs and don't score any of those guys. You can't let that happen again. That's inexcusable. And then also, I'd like to see maybe some different decisions, because we talked about that sacrifice bunt in the 9th from Jack Duffy to move Eblin over to second. Maybe you don't do that with one of the best hitters on the Cape. Maybe you let him swing away and see what he can do. Don't allow yourself to fall into that pit of leaving runners on, going 2 for 9 in scoring position, and just not scoring runs overall.
Exactly, and these 2 teams have swapped positions in the standings as well. Hyannis up to 2nd place in the West. Bourne moves down to 3rd, almost flip-flopping records. Hyannis 6-5-3, while Bourne is at 5-6-3. So what have you really seen or heard about the Harbor Hawks that makes them, one of the better teams in the division right now?
There's a couple teams on the Cape that are hot right now. Catuit Kettleers continuously are hot. The YD Red Sox are hot right now, but so are the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, winning something like 5 of their last 6. It's been pretty impressive for them. They've surged from the bowels of the Western Division, and now they're up here competing with one of the better teams here, and it just seems like they've figured things out. They've put things together and done, I guess, what they needed to do. I know that was a very media-trained answer, but that's just what they've done.
Yeah, and they'll be going up against Braves starter Bryce Cunningham, getting his 2nd start with the Bravos. We saw him out at Red Wilson Field at YD just last week. What do you think we'll see from him tonight, and how do you think it helps him that he gets to work with his catcher, who he works with down at Vanderbilt as well?
That's always a help. It's always nice to have a familiar face behind the dish, and then also for Espinal, then have a guy know what is coming to you. You know what's coming to you. But for Bryce Cunningham, it is getting through the 4th. That is the key. It is the typical 4th-inning curse that befell him. He was the 2nd worst victim of that 4th-inning curse after Adam Tulloch against Catuit, allowing 6 earned runs. Bryce Cunningham had 2 base runners through 3 innings against YD at YD, and then completely melted down in the 4th for 5 earned and 6 consecutive hits. You can't let that happen.
No.
Cannot. Got to get through the 4th inning. Got to get through the lineup for the 2nd time around. That's your key.
So after Cunningham, there are a couple of bullpen options. We did not see Nigel Belgrave, who's been really good this season on Sunday when he was up. Might see a little bit of Tyler Vogel. Will Sandy is up. So there are some options for Scotlanders to use at the back end of this bullpen depending on how long Cunningham goes.
Couple fun guys, absolutely, with Vogel and Belgrave. Belgrave, my reliever of the first quarter.
That's right.
You can read that on bravos.com or bornbraves.org. There we go.
Bravos.com. You make your own website?
Yeah, I made my own website, bravos.com. Anyways, you can read that on bornbraves.org. Nonetheless, you got the lefty arm Will Sandy coming out from North Carolina. He still hasn't pitched in a Bravos uniform yet. There we go, Bravos in the proper sense rather than .com. Nonetheless, he's an option out the pen. Tyler Vogel, Nigel Belgrave, both very electric. You got to hope that Bryce Cunningham goes a good ways so you can get 2, maybe 1 inning out of both of those guys each and shut everything down.
Exactly, and we talked about the addition of Will Sandy, but that comes at the loss of Jack Hurley, who has left for Team USA. We might see him again. I don't know what the chances are of that, but how much of an impact do you think losing Hurley will have on this team?
Well, you saw me flipping my scorebook just now. Jack Hurley, in his final game with the Bravos in Game 1 of that doubleheader, had 2 doubles. He finally came alive and showed the bat that he has. Hopefully he comes back, but that's a major, major loss for these Bourne Braves. Not only does he have the speed to cover distance in the outfield, but just that electric left-handed bat, you cannot replace that. It's one of the best in the ACC, one of the best in the country. You're going to miss him nonetheless. So, got to hope that this batting lineup, Chris Brito, who hit a 454-foot home run against Brewster, you got to hope that bat stays hot. You got to hope the bats of the middle infielders, as many combinations as we've had, stay hot. And some of these outfielders wake up as well.
All right, the Braves and the Harbor Hawks getting set to do battle for the second time in 4 days. Calvin and Max will have all the action for you, and I'll see you throughout and after the game. Mac will have all the coverage post-game that you can read on bornbraves.org, not bravos.com.
Not bravos.com.
Or wherever else
I made that up.
Or wherever else he might throw you at. So we'll see you then, and enjoy the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise as you are able and remove your caps for the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Scott Landers is the new man in charge in Bourne. The new Braves field manager is in his first year at the helm with the Bravos and brings with him an exciting staff that includes World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia. It's an exciting new regime of Bourne Braves baseball, and it's a team you're going to want to see for yourself. Go to bornbraves.org for the full schedule.
Tomahawk Talk is the official pregame and postgame analysis of the Bourne Braves. Hosted by the Bravos broadcast team, Tomahawk Talk provides pregame insights on game day on what Braves fans can expect to see that night. And after the game, the crew breaks down the matchup that was and looks ahead to what to expect tomorrow. It's Tomahawk Talk, and you can find it on game days on the Braves YouTube site, as well as at Bourne Braves on Twitter.
Cape Cod Baseball League is live. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
It's officially 1/3 of the way through the Cape Cod League season. The Braves are still winless in the Western Division, but look to change that today as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are back in town for the second time in 4 days. Calvin Christopher with Max Tanger back with you above Doran Park, and this is the Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who played to a 1-1 tie just a couple nights ago on Saturday. Eric Beattie is the head coach for Hyannis, and here is Coach Beattie's starting lineup. Mitch Jebb, the third baseman, leads things off. Tito Flores, the left fielder, hits second. Justin Janis, the DH tonight, hits third. Christian Moore, the fun Tennessee second baseman, cleans things up. Cole McConnell's in center field. He hits fifth. Nolan Shamuel, the first baseman, hits sixth. Pancho Ruiz, the catcher, hits seventh. Dominic Piatelli, the shortstop, hits eighth. And Philip Matulia, the outfielder, playing in right tonight, rounds things out of the 9th spot. The pitcher for the Braves in his second start and first here at Doran Park is Bryce Cunningham.
And his last outing was at YD, went 3 1/3 of an inning. His work was spectacular through his first 3 innings, allowing no runs on no hits, but then was charged for 5 earned runs in that 4th inning that he could not get through. 24 balls to 36 strikes. It's going to be a fastball, slider, changeup mix. That fastball ranging from 92 to 95, topped out at 96 this spring at Vanderbilt.
First pitch, Jebb takes a swing at it and rolls it over. Here's Eblin on the run, and on one pitch, there's one out.
So just the start you're looking for Bryce Cunningham, again, getting a 1-pitch out, trying to get through this lineup as quick as possible. A lineup that we mentioned on the pregame show, Calvin, has been swinging it really well as of late.
Hyannis, a team that started the season 3-5-1, but since then have been undefeated in their last 5 games, 3-0-2 in that stretch, and have upped their runs per game from 2.8 to start the season to 5.4. And this team is hitting just under 300 at 295 in their last 5 games. So it's a really tough lineup for Bryce Cunningham to square off with tonight, as his first pitch is a ground out and his second pitch is in there for a strike. We talked about Cunningham in his last outing against YD. He had a really good start to that game. Retired the first 9 batters of the game. 11 men came to the plate where he got his first 9 outs. But in the 4th, he really struggled. Only got an out in that inning. Allowed 5 runs on 4 hits. 1-1 to Flores is in there for a strike.
And Calvin, I think the biggest thing that he's going to look back on taking it into this outing is that the pitch usage was almost identical the second time through the order than it was the first time through the order. So I think once he gets through a second time here to this 9 tonight, switch things up a little bit, maybe increase that slider usage, which was just up about 4% the second time through his last time out.
1-2 just misses downstairs. He likes his fastball, too. Throws that right around 60% of the time. Averages 92 miles an hour, can get up in the mid-90s. The Vanderbilt Commodore working with his battery mate, Alan Espinal, trying to retire Tito Flores. Here's the 2-2. This guy down the right field line foul. They'll do it again.
And Flores is a guy they're going to have to be careful with. Currently, or I should say his 11-game hit streak was snapped yesterday, or I should say Sunday in Game 2 against Chatham. But before that, really rolling 7th in the league in hitting at .326 entering tonight.
Leads the Harbor Hawks with 14 base knocks on the season. Also has 2 home runs and 6 runs driven in. Trying to win the battle against Cunningham. Here's the 2-2 again, and spoiled back again. So a pretty good fight here in the second batter of this ball game after Mitch Jebb was retired on the first pitch. Flores, the Michigan Wolverine, the right-handed hitting outfielder, off to a pretty good start this Cape campaign. Here's the 2-2. By him for strike 3, swing and a miss.
And a really good start, a really good battle as well right there. Pitch running away from Flores. Over the plate right there, middle, make that the outer third of the strike zone. But Flores, again, chasing after it, maybe just a little bit late. So 2 up, 2 down for Cunningham. A good start. It gets a threatening lineup, and I really think the biggest part of this lineup is going to be the top 5 tonight for Cunningham, all the way up to Cole McConnell in the 5 spot.
4 of the top 5 batters in this Hyannis lineup hit over 300. We already mentioned Alan Espinal is the catcher tonight for the Braves. Let's check out the rest of the defense. Dakota Harris, Christian Rockefort, and Duffy left to right in the outfield. Across the infield, Peck is at third, Shaw is at short, Eblin at second. Chris Brito plays first, and Alan Espinal does the catching for Bryce Cunningham.
It's got to be nice for Cunningham to have his school teammate in Espinal behind the plate. You mentioned it earlier. Again, a guy that Espinal is really comfortable with, caught a couple of times in games this year.
The 1-1 is lifted softly into left field. That's a base hit. So the Harbor Hawks get a base runner with 2 men gone. Justin Janis singles to the other way, and that'll bring up Christian Moore, who's off to a really good start this season for Hyannis. Just his 4th game of the season. He started the previous 3 and is already with a batting average up near 400, starting the year 3 for 8.
He's picked up a hit in each of the 3 games that you mentioned so far. Made his debut against these Braves back the last time these two teams faced. That was last Saturday. And again, swung at the first pitch he saw and lined a single to center field, so we'll see if he keeps that aggressive approach here against Cunningham.
Also came around and scored Hyannis' only run of that ball game. This time he watches the first pitch, mitts down low for ball 1. Hyannis at 6-5-3 on the season, 2nd place in the West Division. Still looking up at Katuitt, who sits at 10-2-2 on the year. So the Hawks in 2nd, 3.5 back. The Braves right behind them at 5-6-3, 4.5 back of the first place Kettles. So a win today for the Braves would even up Hyannis and Bourne in the standings. A loss would make that gap between the 2 games, and especially with the layout of the bottom of this West Division, Falmouth and Wareham tied at 5-8-1. A win tonight is critical for the Braves to get back to 500 on the year. 2-0 to Moore, misses down low, and it is 3-0 to Christian Moore, the cleanup hitter for Hyannis tonight.
And you bring up Katuitt. How about the 0-0 tie we saw with them last Sunday? I mean, you never think you're going to see that in baseball. Of course, ties here in the Cape Cod League, and on a doubleheader, might I add, as well. I don't know what the time was on that game, but I got to imagine that one rolled quite quickly.
It must have been the quickest, longest game. Unless you like pitching and defense, then I don't know about that one. Here's the 3-0 inside corner for a strike. 0-0 tie. I'm sure our friends on the call for both Katuitt and Orleans had fun with that one.
An hour and 41 minutes for that game. A combined 5 hits on both ends. So that paints the picture pretty perfectly right there.
Here's the 3-1 to Moore. Fouled away. Ties are one thing, but 0-0 is just...
It's a soccer game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a soccer game.
And both Orleans and the Kettleers facing off again tonight. Katuitt a 2-1 lead as we speak. I was going to say they were tied at 1-1 just about 30 seconds ago. So I was going to say they're keeping it going, but Katuitt jumping out in front. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Katuitt did win the first game of that doubleheader. Here's the full count pitch, and it's in there for strike 3. Christian Moore is caught looking, and Bryce Cunningham works around the 2-out single and gets out of the inning unscathed. A scoreless top half of the first for Hyannis. The Braves grabbing the bats for the first time on the Bourne Braves Television Network. Feeling lucky? Head over to the 50-50 table at Doran Park and play everyone's favorite ballpark game of chance. A different list of prizes are available every home game, and of course, half the pot is always up for grabs. Take it from me, my family played the 50-50 last season and won a gift certificate to a local ice cream shop, and I can tell you firsthand it was delicious. Check out the list of prizes over at the 50-50 table next to the concession stand and play the 50-50 leg, because I'm sure there's a prize for you.
For the first time since 2019, the Cape Cod League All-Star Game is back. On Saturday, July 23rd at 6:45, the best players on Cape will come together in Wareham and duke it out in an East Division versus West Division clash. In 2021, the Braves had a league-leading 9 All-Stars, but they weren't able to shine in the mid-season showcase. But now the game is back, and it will include your favorite Braves stars, as well as the best talent from around the Cape.
This is Braves outfielder Jack Duffy from Polk State College. Go Braves.
A Braves offense that has scored just 1 run in each of its last 3 games comes to the plate tonight looking for an offensive explosion against Hyannis. Here is Coach Lander's starting lineup in game number 15 of the season. Matt Shaw, the shortstop, leads things off. Bryce Eblin, the second baseman, hits second. Chris Brito, who hit a towering home run, hits third tonight at first base. Jack Duffy, who you just heard from, is in right field hitting fourth. John Peck, the third baseman, hits fifth. Wyatt Hensler, the DH tonight, hits sixth. Carson Rockefort, the center fielder, hits seventh. Alan Esball, the catcher, hits eighth. And Dakota Harris, the switch-hitting utility man in left field tonight, hits ninth. going up against Austin Amaral, a guy who we talked to pregame. A very nice guy and also a very good pitcher.
Absolutely. Having a good summer so far. 6 innings pitched over 2 starts, a 1.5 ERA, 5 strikeouts to 3 walks in that span. Be a fastball, slider, changeup mix. Loves to use that fastball that ranges from 91 to 93, tops out at 95. 66% of the time in his 2 outings so far compared to that slider, which has a 44% whiff rate. So look to see that with 2 strikes.
This season at Stetson, batters hit just .211 off this guy, who led the Hatters in both appearances with 20, an ERA of 3.17. Greets Matt Shaw with the ball, and here's the second pitch to the Braves infielder. Slider that misses away for ball 2. We talked about this at one point. Don't know if it was against Hyannis or in that Brewster doubleheader. Why doesn't Matt Shaw lead off? And tonight, Coach Landers going with number 24 out of that leadoff spot.
And he fits every quality you'd want from a leadoff hitter. He has the speed. He has the on-base skills. The thing that jumps out the most, I'd say, that we've really put emphasis on the last few nights is his ability to hit with 2 strikes. He gets behind in counts, but he will never give up an at-bat, and it seems like he's almost excelling with 2 strikes. We'll see if he gets to that situation here against Amaral. But a really good guy at the top of this lineup for the Braves to get something going as well. I think that's something they've lacked the last couple of weeks here, is a guy to start things off, a spark plug. Of course, Shaw, the guy you want with runners in scoring position, but it's tough when they're not out there for him.
Not behind at all in this count as he takes a 5-pitch walk as the Braves' leader in on-base percentage, hitting at the top of the lineup for the first time tonight, does his job and gets the Bravos a base runner to start this game.
Second baseman, number 2.
Absolutely, and Amaral, that fastball, running a little bit arm side, getting away from him right there. Command hasn't been too much of an issue for him. Again, as you mentioned, opponents just hitting .211 against him, 21 walks and 48 1/3 of innings work at Stetson this year. So we'll see if command is an issue for him as we get deeper into this game tonight.
And he touched on it. 6 innings of work, allowing just 1 run in his last appearance against Brewster. 2 hits, 3 Ks, no earned runs across 3 innings of work, and only walked 1 man. It's already matched that total to start this game, and here's Bryce Eblin, who's hitting out of the 2 spot. We've seen Bryce up and down this Braves order, but first time we've seen him batting number 2. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches a ball miss up and away.
And I think he's a guy that's going to break out soon. Again, had an up-and-down year over at Alabama this year, a really slow start, but is now 4 for his last 17, and that may not jump off the page immediately, but it's a big step forward from what we were seeing the first couple of weeks. And again, if he's a guy at the top of this lineup that can get going, that's a big plus for Scott Landers moving forward as well.
Struck out in both of his at-bats in Game 2 of the doubleheader. He did not play in Game 1. But last time he faced these Harbor Hawks, he was 2 for 3 with a walk, a stolen base, his only multi-hit game of the season. He bats with 1 on and nobody out and is ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. Squaring again, he pops it up, but harmlessly it hits the screen behind home plate.
And I touched on it a little bit earlier in the pregame show, but I said, how aggressive is Scott Landers going to be in terms of small ball and trying to force manufacture runs? And there's a 2-0 count right now, and Eblin squaring early. So again, maybe not particularly bunting for a hit, especially after showing bunt the 2 previous pitches. I know it was something that both Mac Friday and Ethan Frank talked about in the pregame show last Sunday. But again, bunting with a runner on first base, something that you don't see too much in baseball these days. But Landers has not been afraid to pull it out of his back pocket.
The Braves were 3 for 4 stealing bases on Pancho Ruiz and the Harbor Hawks when these 2 teams met up on Saturday night. Shot a stolen base, but was also caught. Check over on him. He's back in with the head-first slide. He's been very aggressive this season, leads the Braves with 5 stolen bases. Has only been caught the 1 time, and that was by the catcher tonight, Pancho Ruiz. Getting all the attention from Amaral right now.
And Ruiz just about average in terms of throwing out base runners this year. At school at San Diego State, threw out 13 of 50 potential base stealers at a 26% rate.
Amaral now comes to the plate. The runner is going. The pitch is high. The throwdown is on the bag, and Shaw beats it with a head-first slide.
Looks like the hit and run may have been on here, as that was a pitch well up and out of the zone that Eblin went after. And again, we talked about the abilities that Matt Shaw brings to the top of this lineup. Starts off with a walk, steals himself into second base. That's the playmaker you need. Now sets up an opportunity with a runner in scoring position and nobody down.
If the hit and run wasn't on, then Bryce Eblin chased a pitch way out of the zone that would have made this count 3-1. But as it stands, the Braves will take the runner in scoring position, as even with a 2-strike count, all Eblin needs to do is roll one over to the second baseman Moore, and the Braves have a runner at third base with just one out in the inning. Of course, a base hit would do the job just as well. Amaral coming to the plate. Here's the 2-2. Full count.
Braves doing a really good job of working the count up on Amaral, who can get up there with the pitch count. Again, had 100-plus pitches at Stetson twice this year. Of course, probably not going that deep here in a Cape Cod League summer game. But again, get him out of this game early. I think one of the biggest keys for a bullpen that's blown a couple of leads late in games the last couple of nights here for Hyannis.
3-2 pitch. Fouled back, third base side out of play. Eblin putting a pretty good fight together. Amaral in danger of walking back-to-back hitters to start this game. Had just the one walk in his last outing against Brewster last week. That was across 3 innings of work. And in 48 1/3 innings of work for Stenson this year, only walked 21 guys, so less than a guy per every 2 innings. Trying to prevent walking the first 2 Braves to start off the night. Another full count pitch coming to Eblin. Fouled back as the Braves are doing a really good job, Eblin in this at-bat especially, of spoiling away some tough pitches.
And if there's one positive to take away from Eblin's play offensively the last couple of weeks, of course, you look at the hit totals and so forth, not quite there yet, but he doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play a lot, and that's what's making him such a tough out here for Amaral. And again, climbing that pitch count up, trying to earn himself more opportunities here at the top of this lineup in Scott Slander's starting 9.
The full count pitch once again. This one's hit into center field. Ranging over is McConnell. He's got it, but tagging from second and cruising into third is Matt Shaw. And Bryce Eblin does his job. The Bravos have the go-ahead base runner 90 feet away here in the first inning.
And that ball was roped, too. The cherry on top of what was just a tremendous quality at-bat right there. And as you mentioned, does the job, get Shaw over to third. Thought this may have a chance at first glance to get over the head or at least be out of the reach of McConnell in center field. But nonetheless, advanced the runner 90 feet over to third base for a guy who hit a ball out of the stratosphere back on Sunday.
That would be Chris Brito, who hit a 454-foot towering blast. Hits this one high and deep to center. McConnell going back, still ranging back to the track. He makes the catch. Matt Shaw will cruise home as a consolation prize, but another ball stung by Chris Brito all the way to the 395 marker yields the Braves their first run of the ball game.
I thought we had the first home run of the season for the Braves right there, and McConnell, he's getting his steps in over there in straightaway center field. Back-to-back pitches where he's had to cover a lot of ground on 2 hard-hit line drives with not too much hang time on them. And again, Brito jumping on the first pitch and driving it probably about 390 feet to straightaway center field, and McConnell was able to reach up and run it down. But he'll take it, his 7th RBI of the year, and a first-inning run for the Braves, something that they haven't been able to produce too many times this season so far.
Second game in a row they've scored in the first inning. Of course, against Brewster, that was the Brito home run. They only had 2 hits across the next 6 innings, though, and lost that game 3-1. The Braves, though, off to a good start, a run on no hits here in the first. The batter is now Jack Duffy, whose average has slipped down to 357, weird to say, slipped down in the mid-300s, but is going through a little bit of a spurt here, 0 for his last 6. Here's the 0-2. Rolled to short. Moore waits for it and makes the throw to retire the side. Braves don't get a hit, but they do get a run. We're headed to the second. 1-0 Bravos on the Born Braves Television Network.
You know what Pete Alonso, Kevin Youkilis, and Lou Merloni all have in common? Go ahead, take a guess. Yeah, that's right. They're all former Born Braves. The list of famous Bravo alumni is lengthy and it's growing fast. Take 2021 Major League Baseball first overall pick, Henry Davis, for example. He was on the Cape just 3 summers ago, back in 2019. So make sure you don't miss out on watching the future stars of tomorrow today. Admission to all games at Doran Park and around the Cape Cod League is free. For the full Braves schedule, head to the Bravos team website, bornbraves.org.
Did you know it takes $150,000 to field the Braves every summer? We are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization that relies solely on the donations of private citizens and local businesses. The Born Braves are a 501c organization, and all donations are tax-deductible. You can donate today online at bornbraves.org.
Your favorite team on the Cape is back in action. Now back to Bourne Braves baseball.
Braves get a run without a hit in the home half of the first. They lead it 1-0 as we play here in the top of the second. And that's something we haven't seen very much for a Braves offense. A walk, a stolen base, a productive out by Bryce Eblin, and then a long, towering sac fly to bring him home off the bat of Chris Brito. So some good offensive execution for a Braves unit that has been really struggling over its past 3 contests.
And if we see a close finish tonight and a Braves win by 1, maybe 2 runs, I think you got to look back on that at-bat from Bryce Eblin. Working a 3-2 count, a super lengthy at-bat, fouling a plethora of pitches off, and then lines out to deep right center to advance and run to the third. Brito, of course, with the sacrifice fly to follow things. That's manufacturing runs. You got to imagine Scott Lander's very happy in that third base dugout.
Would love to have seen the exit velocity on Brito's sac fly as well. His home run on Sunday came off the bat at 104 miles per hour. And some birds up on the other side of that Brewster scoreboard probably had to refix their nest because that one went flying into the trees out there in Brewster.
Wonder how many guys in the history of that ballpark have cleared the scoreboard that convincingly. Again, there was no question that that one was headed deep into the trees in left center.
454 feet isn't a cheapie by any means. That would have been 20 feet over the center field fence at Eldridge Park, which has only been done 4 times in the history of that stadium.
My goodness.
The batter is now Cole McConnell as we make the look back out at this game. Hyannis is number 5 hitter. Now 2-2. McConnell in center field tonight went 1 for 2, took ball 4 twice against the Braves when these 2 teams met on Saturday. Went 1 for 3 in game 1 yesterday against Chatham and did not play in game 2. 2-2 pitch coming here from Cunningham. An off-speed pitch roped into right center. Rocafort's on his horse, and he runs it down for the first out.
And a good play right there. This one, a little bit of an inside-out swing on an inside pitch to McConnell. It was actually slicing back towards Rocafort, which made this play a little bit easier, but again, with great speed gliding across the gap, was able to make the catch with ease. So for Cunningham in that first inning as well, 11 strikes to 6 balls. Again, a quick out to McConnell here, so working quickly and efficiently so far, just like we saw in his first outing against YD.
Yeah, eerily similar to what he did against YD in his first appearance, where he got through the first 3 innings, facing just 11 batters, but hit a major speed bump in the 4th. Trying to prevent that from happening again, but needs to get to the 4th in the first place. 0-1 to Samuel. This is over to Eblin once again. He's been busy in the early innings, scoops and throws, and that's an easy second out. So a fly ball and a ground out, back-to-back quick putouts here in the second will bring Pancho Ruiz to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 gone in the frame.
And for Cunningham, it's going to be an easy, or I should say majority ground ball mix. 40% rate this season at Vanderbilt. And again, a big part of that, he mixes in a sinker and a 2-seam fastball that Alan Espinal says is one of his favorite pitches to catch, particularly when Cunningham is on the mound. We've already seen a couple of grounders tonight.
Bases are instead empty for Ruiz, who looks at strike 1. Pancho is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a walk here at Doran Park a couple nights back. We mentioned he did throw out a Braves would-be base stealer in that game. Facing Bryce Cunningham for the first time tonight as the wind is once again blowing from right field out to left here at Doran Park like it usually does. On a beautiful summer night for baseball, here is the 1-1, dropped in there for a strike.
That's when Cunningham is at his best, the ability to drop that slider front door to right-handers on the inside corner and then sweep it away to the same side of the plate.
So Cunningham a pitch away from a really quick 1-2-3 inning. Pitch out of the zone, but protecting with 2 strikes. Ruiz slaps it back to the screen.
And Ruiz just 1 at-bat in the doubleheader back on Sunday. Came in as a replacement late, was 0 for 1. So getting the start tonight, looking for a good slate of 4 ABs.
Which means he is fresh. Here's the 1-2. He chases it in the dirt. Espinal has to make the easy throw over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning in a jiffy for Bryce Cunningham. Braves lead it 1-1 as we're in the middle of the second inning, so you know what that means. What does Ethan Frank have on his mind, Ethan?
I've got a lot on my mind, Calvin, but specifically before today's game, I wanted to figure out what the Braves players have been doing on their off days. And I got a couple of popular answers. Ty Cummings and Nigel Belgrave said they went mini golfing, but unfortunately Nigel did not pull out the victory, as well as he's been pulling out saves for the Braves so far this season. The gym was a popular answer. Alan Espinal said he hit up RMA Fitness, but the most popular answer was a lot of sleep and video games for the Braves players. So, just your typical, usual college guys' activities. How did you guys enjoy your off day yesterday?
It was just fantastic, Ethan. I mean, I was hanging out with you on the beach for a little part of it, even with the rain. I know you got your alligator floaty as well, so.
That doesn't sound too fantastic to me. I'm glad I wasn't there. Last thing I want to see is Ethan on a beach with an alligator floaty, but hey, if that had to happen, I'm glad I missed it. We make our turn back to the ball game here because I'm sure you want to get that image out of your head as fast as possible.
He was proud of it. He took a lot of pride in it.
I'm going to stop thinking about it because I still am. Braves lead at 1-0 here as we play in the bottom half of the second. That's like my favorite exercise. You say, whatever you do, you cannot think of an elephant. You can think about anything else in the world, not an elephant. And the first thing that pops in your head is an elephant.
I think we may need to find an elephant floaty now for Ethan. Get a little collection going.
I don't think he needs to get a collection of floaties going. Not that I'm against floaties.
When in Rome, when you're on the beach for this summer, you
try
new things.
If he already has an alligator floaty, an elephant floaty's not going to hurt him.
What's more menacing, though, the alligator or the elephant? I mean, I think it's pretty close competition.
If I was locked in a steel cage with either an alligator or an elephant,
Leading off the second for Bourne.
I think I'd rather be in there with an elephant.
I agree. I
don't know, though. That nose can just swipe you and trip you over.
He could flick you.
You could, jump over alligators, I guess, but they can come after you. I don't know. Regardless of the conversation, John Peck's turn to hit here in the bottom half of the second inning. Emerald's first pitch is tapped up the middle. Piatelli ranges over, and on the run, he throws him out to begin this second inning.
So a little bit more of an aggressive approach here in the second compared to the first, where these Braves bats were incredibly patient, and I think that's got to be the key coming into the rest of this game. I mean, for Peck, we know he struggled with the swing and miss a little bit, so I think that's why he's been very aggressive so far, trying not to fall behind in counts. But for the rest of this order, I say be patient. Let him attack you first after he really struggled with his command in that first frame.
The guy who needs to be patient here is Wyatt Hensler, who's not, as he swings at the first pitch. Hensler played in just one game yesterday. That was in Game 1, instead Sunday. 0 for 3 that day. His last hit came 6 at-bats ago. That was against Chatham last week. Quickly in the hole here, 0-2. As Hyannis, after allowing a run in the first inning, looks for a clean second frame. The 0-2. Popped on the infield. Moore battling the sun. Gives way to Piatelli, who makes the catch on the right side of the second base bag.
So 2 really quick outs for Amaral. And again, this is an opportunity where you see a crossing point because he was wavering just a little bit in that first inning. And now if you let him get into a groove right here, only having just scored 1 run, you could see yourself getting into some trouble. Again, it was currently as we speak just about 14 strikes to 7 balls and 21 pitches now through an inning, 2/3 of work.
Amaral looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning to match his counterpart in Bryce Cunningham, who did so in the top half of this frame. He'll have to deal with Carson Rocafort, who struggled out of the gate here for the Braves. 4 for 23 on the line. That's a batting average of $174. And swings through an off-speed pitch, dancing down in for strike 1. This is a guy who tore up Louisiana Lafayette, a .374 batting average for the Ragin' Cajuns. Looking to get into a little bit of a rhythm here on the Cape, something he hasn't done in just under 25 ABs. The 1-1. Excuse me, swing. Did he go? Third base umpire Lou DeLuise says he did. So Rocafort's behind in the count 1-2.
And just a deadly combo right there. It looked like a slider at his back foot, then a changeup that ran right over the inside corner of the plate.
Trying to battle with 2 strikes as he watches a pitch miss up in the zone. The count is even at 2-2.
And that changeup, Calvin, a pitch that he really almost didn't use at all at Stetson this year. It's up to a 5% usage rate here in the Cape, so maybe a pitch he's trying to work on.
Let's see what he comes here as the count has now gone full. Rocafort trying to work back from a 1-2 hole to get a Braves base runner on here with 2 outs in the second. Amaral coming to the plate, the 3-2. Popped into shallow center. McConnell is making a dash in. Piatelli gives way to the center fielder, who makes the catch with the left-handed glove to retire the side here in inning number 2. 6 up, 6 down combined for both teams in the ledger, and we're headed to the third. The Braves still lead it 1-0 on the Bourne Braves television network.
Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston
Can first pitch not come soon enough? Well, don't worry. Before the Bravos has you covered. Starting 15 minutes before first pitch at home or on the road, Before the Bravos has the pregame insight and analysis you need to get game ready. From exclusive interviews, a first look at the opposition, lineup breakdowns, and so much more, Before the Bravos is the best place to start your evening of baseball. Before the Bravos, 15 minutes before first pitch, every game day, live on the Bourne Braves YouTube stream.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they are investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
On our way back to Doran Park, it's time for some more Bourne Braves baseball.
Top half of the third inning, Braves lead it 1-0 as Bryce Cunningham comes out for his third inning of work. Has now retired the last 4 batters he's faced, including a spectacular 1-2-3 top half of the second inning. He'll get 8, 9, and 1 here in the Harbor Hawks lineup. It'll be Dominic Pitelli to lead things off, the shortstop out of Miami. And again, after Austin Amaral in the first inning faced 4 batters, again the leadoff batter and Shaw drew a walk, stole second base, advanced to third on the line out to center off the bat of Eblin, then scored on the sacrifice fly from Chris Brito. Has really found a groove now. He's retired 4 in a row himself, including all-week contact, a ground out to short off the bat of Peck to open up that second, a pop out to second off the bat of Hensler, and after a lengthy AV, a fly out to shallow center off the bat of Roccaforte. So here comes Dominic Pitelli, the shortstop, to lead things off for his first plate appearance of the night. As Cunningham toes the first base side of the rubber as we hit play on the third. His first pitch, Pitelli shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball down and away for ball 1. Pitelli 5 for 31 on the season so far, hitting $161. And again, this is where this lineup really takes a down step here for the Harbor Hawks. That we mentioned that 4 of the first top 5 guys in the lineup are hitting above 300. The only guy not is Justin Janis, who's one of the biggest power bats in this starting 9. Then you go to Ruiz, Pitelli, and Matulia, and it's been a struggle over the last couple of weeks, so they're going to look to get things going. Here's the 2-0 from Cunningham on the way. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-1.
So to attack this bottom of the order has to be at the utmost importance for Cunningham on the mound, because you got to know your offense hasn't been there the past 3 games. You have to do your job to keep this offense in this game, and you can't let guys at the bottom of this Hyannis order come on base for Mitch Jebb, Tito Flores, Janis, and the top 1, 2, 3 batters in this Hyannis order who've been tearing the cover off the ball, especially over their past 5 games.
3-1, taken down low for ball 4, so not the start that Cunningham was looking for. As Pitelli draws the walk, he has good speed over there at first base as he represents the tying run. So here comes Philip Matulia to the plate here, another guy who has been struggling, 4 for 24 in the year. Was quite a slow start, was 1 for his first 15, now 4 for 24 in total. Has left the yard once, driven in 4 as well. So he digs into left-hander's batter's box here, trying to get something going. Again, that walk to Pitelli, the first free pass that Cunningham has allowed, the second base runner. Of course, Janis singled back in the first. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. And something we really noticed looking at this Harbor Hawks team before the game was that entering last Saturday's matchup between the Braves, they had 11 stolen bases. You fast forward to today, 3 games later, 10. They've stolen 10 bases in their last 3 games, 17 in the last 7. So they've been extra aggressive on the base path, something that both Cunningham and Espinal will have to be aware of tonight.
And it's been working for them. We talked about their slow start to the season, just 3-5-1, but undefeated in their last 5 games, 2 ties thrown in there, but still, they're seeing the ball pretty well right now and running well.
Grounded softly to Eblin. He'll go for the force at second base as that'll retire Pitelli for out number 1, so a 4-6 fielder's choice. Hit too softly to be a potential double play. as Matulia takes first
Third
base.
baseman number 38.
So one down now. That'll bring up the top of the order and Mitch Jebb to the plate. A good bounce back for Cunningham. Again, we mentioned the high ground ball rate. It's now the third ground ball hit to Evelyn over there at second base. So here's Jebb. He's been one of the more interesting stories this summer so far, not just because he's been raking, to say the least, hitting .321 entering today, but also a guy who did not strike out virtually at all back in school ball at Michigan State. The strikeout numbers have gone up, however. At Michigan State, just 6 strikeouts and 262 plate appearances, good for a 6% rate. We mentioned that in the last broadcast. And this summer so far, he struck out 8 times in 33 plate appearances, a 24% rate. So again, facing some tougher pitching this summer, but still, despite the swing and miss numbers going up, has had a very successful start. So 2-0 the count here. He was 0 for 5 against the Braves last Saturday, but still 9 for his last 21, slugging .619 in that span. So Cunningham will have to be careful.
He's been good, but a guy who hits the ball on the ground a lot, making him a double play victim.
Tipped off the glove of Cunningham. Nice flip from the second baseman and Evelyn to the shortstop and Shaw to get the 4-6 fielder's choice. My goodness, put a star on that one. And Evelyn ranging towards his right, had to readjust towards his left, and in one motion fielded the ball and shoveled it to the shortstop and Shaw for the 4-set second.
It is so many smooth plays this Braves middle infield especially has made this season. The Braves defense as a whole has made some pretty nice plays. That pet catch over the fence comes to mind. But Evelyn in this middle infield has been just so special. That was a crazy play. Another situation where Cunningham as a pitcher, you can't try to field that ball. You got to let it go through to the middle infielders. Great job by Evelyn in midair, readjusting and then making a basketball pass in between the legs to Matt Shaw to get at least one out at second base on the play.
And it's been a broken record at this point when we talk about Matt Shaw's defensive capabilities. But he was at second base after taking the shovel toss from Evelyn, shaking his head. So when you're making Matt Shaw shake his head, you know you did something good. As the runner goes, pitch up and in. Espinal's throw to second base. On line tag applied. He got him. Alan Espinal with a bullet out of the cannon to retire Mitch Jebb at second base. That'll punctuate a very emphatic top of the third inning. The defense was shining as Cunningham faces the minimum 1, 2, 3. We're into the bottom of the third. 8-9-1. Do it for the Braves as they lead it 1-0.
It is with their support that we are
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve. That's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
For the first time since 2019, the full Cape Cod League playoff slate is back. Last season, just 2 teams from the East and West Division respectively played in the shortened playoff format, but this year there will be a full 8-team slate. 4 teams from the East and West will get a shot at the title. The Braves have missed the postseason just once since 2007 and look to make another run back to the title game in 2022, a series they lost a season ago. It's the Cape Cod League playoffs and they're back in full swing for the first time in 3 years. The 2021 West Division champs are defending their title. Now back to Bourne Braves baseball.
Bottom half of the third inning, 1-0 Braves your score. It'll be Alan Espinal fittingly leading off this bottom of the third inning after Calvin, one of the hardest throws I think we've seen from a backstop this year, nabbing Mitch Jebb at second base.
No, it was just straight up a dart. I was talking to you during the break. I didn't think he was going to make the play because it was a slider. It wasn't a fastball. It was a breaking ball. Still a pretty good pitch to throw on because it was up in the zone. Threw from his knees and made a crazy good throw right on the money to just punctuate a really solid defensive inning all around for the Braves. You can't forget that Bryce Evelyn in between the legs play. Evelyn is not going to show up in the box score at all because he just goes down as a 4-6 putout, and his at-bat just goes in the box score as a fly out to center field. But Bryce Evelyn's having a really good first couple of innings in this ballgame.
0-1 to Espinal is pounded down the third base line and foul. Count quickly jumps to 0-2. And Evelyn's been busy over there tonight, a third through this ball game. He's had 4 ground balls hit in his direction, plus you include applying the tag on Jebb to end that inning. So the game of Bryce Evelyn defensively continues here in game number 15 of the year. 0-2 the count here on Espinal, 1 for 7. so far in the summer as he calls time. That one hit was a double back against Orleans on Friday. Speaking of lasers, not just the Cannon Foreign Army has, but a laser double that Friday we just alluded to as the next pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. He's walked twice as well. Started game 1 behind the plate against Brewster on Sunday, went 0 for 1. Did reach base via the walk. So he's looking to get something going offensively here.
And what he hasn't done is strike out.
He's behind 1-2. Pitch from Amaral has popped up first base side out of play. Count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Amaral's been good to start this ball game. He still hasn't given up a hit, hasn't given up a base runner since Matt Shaw led off this game with a double. He is, instead not a double, a walk. He did score, but he's really honed in the strike zone, and after that walk has gotten into attack mode against these Braves hitters.
1-2, fastball taken upstairs and in. Count went even up at 2-2.
And he came up to the broadcast booth earlier in the game to tell us, not earlier in the game, before the game, to tell us he wasn't wearing number 10 tonight. He was wearing number 33. And we asked him, if we could get some scouting report on him. We'll talk to the man himself, right? Who better to get a scouting report on the pitcher than the pitcher? And he told us, you know what? I throw all knuckleballs.
I was hoping that was true. Even though we had the pitch repertoire given to us before the game, I was just hoping there was a chance we were going to see some knuckleballs.
Yeah, obviously doesn't throw knuckleballs, but he throws a lot of strikes.
2-2, swing and a miss. Espinal down on strikes for the first time this summer. That one on the slider from Amaral as he picks up his first punch out of the night.
Left fielder number 10 out of Polk State.
So I got to give you another point right there. I think he might be 6 for 9 now, 6 for 10.
It's around there, yeah.
After bringing up the Espinal point, he set down on strikes for the first time this year. We'll keep count. I think you might.
Running tally of jinx I've created.
It's a good margin, I'd say. It's a good number. We'll keep following it. Here's Dakota Harris. He's swinging from the left side tonight with the righty and Amaral on the mound. First plate appearance for him is chopped third base side past the outstretched glove of Jeb, who was playing in front of the bag. That'll get into left field for a base hit. That'll be the first hit of the night here for the Braves, courtesy of Dakota Harris.
And good for Harris, too. He's been really into the struggle after he came up big for the Braves and won that Chatham game with the 2-out, 2 RBI single in the 8th inning. He's been 0 for since, only played in 1 game in the doubleheader on Sunday. That was in game 2. But chopped through the left side there, a base hit going the other way with the third baseman Jeb playing in on the grass. Really no chance for the third baseman. And now the Braves, who already have a stolen base tonight, stole 3 against this catcher just a couple nights ago, have a fast runner on first base with the best hitter in your lineup at the dish.
That's Matt Shaw. He takes a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Shaw worked a walk on 5 pitches back in the first inning, promptly stole second, advanced to third on the fly out to center from Eblin, and then would come around to score tonight's only run on Brito's sacrifice fly to center. He's looking to get something going once again here in the third. The 0-1. Breaking ball taken on the outside corner. Perfect spot from Amaral. Count jumps to 0-2. So I don't know if Mac Friday can do it for us now. But we got to get, after the game, Matt Shaw's numbers with 2 strikes. Because at this point,
that's going to be a tough task.
I think it is. The point streak, we'll have to dig deep into that one. But if we could get those numbers, I would not be surprised if batting average is north of 700. I mean, it seems like maybe 7 for 9. The amount of 2 strike hits
here's the thing, too. He gets into an 0-2 count, and it's not just like he gets there and then gets it hit. He'll spoil a pitch, he'll see a ball, and then he'll get his base hit.
Fights that one foul on the first base side. And that's exactly what you want to see, especially for an offense that has been struggling a lot against, collectively in this league, the pitching, which has just been so dominant.
So now he fouls that pitch off. I think this pitch he's going to watch it for a ball, and then he'll get into a 1-2 count. Amaral is going to think he's starting to lose the fight here and throwing over the plate that Shaw's going to rope for a hit.
0-2, pounded straight back. Did go out of the zone to chase that one. Looked like another breaking ball. Count will stay at 0-2.
So reset the clock here. He's going to foul off some pitches, and then he's going to watch a ball. He's not going to get hit here 0-2. He's going to wait till the count is at least 1-2, and then he's going to put one in play.
That's the hitter's count for Shaw, we should say. 1-2 instead of 3-1.
You can say that, but still, it's not like he hasn't struck out in the season. He does have upwards of 5-6 strikeouts on the year. So it's not like he's just got a base hit every time he's been in an 0-2 count.
0-2 is up and in, gets away from the catcher, and Ruiz heading for second as Harris. Ruiz's throw is offline, nicks off the glove of the second baseman Moore. Backing up is the shortstop Patelli. So advancing to second base is Harris. He's now in scoring position, and here's your 1-2 count for Matt Shaw, looking to drive in a run.
And now he's going to run her in scoring position, too, and a fast runner at that. So Shaw has to know the situation. try to get this runner in, because no run is a given for this Braves offense, who has struggled all year long with runners in scoring position. They were 2 for 9 in that aspect against Hyannis on Saturday.
1-2 is popped up on the infield. Shortstop Patelli got a late jump. Now sprinting in. He's going to have to play this on a hop. Can't find the handle. Everybody is safe. Likely will be a single for Shaw. First and second here with one down. And again, the shortstop Patelli got a really late read on that one, Calvin. I think he took a couple of steps back, maybe the aggressive swing from Shaw right there. But the two-strike hitting continues. It's a 105-mile-an-hour single in the scorebook.
And he gets a base hit on a 1-2 count. It's something that we've seen him do a bunch. He gets that 0-2, fights a couple of pitches off, then gets a 1-2 pitch he can handle. And granted, he didn't really handle this one very well. It hit the handle of his bat. That's the only handle it did. But he gets on. He gets a base hit in the scorebook. This guy just rakes. Everything goes his direction when he's at home plate.
Here's Bryce Eblin. He takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1's the count.
So can Bryce Eblin keep it going now? He's already had a good night. Put together a really good at-bat where he got into a deep count and made a productive out by scorching one into right center field. The center fielder McConnell had to run down in the gap. Can he get a base hit here? Because a productive out really doesn't do a ton, because now there's 2 outs in the inning. So can he find a hole here and keep this line moving and potentially score the Braves' second run of this ballgame?
Amaral, despite allowing a run in the first, did not allow one hit through the first time through the order. He has now allowed 2. As the 0-1 is on its way. Breaking ball taken down low for ball 1. And correction, actually, Harris, the 9th man in the lineup, picked up the first hit of the night. So through the first 2 innings did not allow a hit, but has allowed 2 here in the third as the Braves continue to threat.
And Amaral's not on the, not on the verge of losing this game by any means, but a base hit here does a lot. He can end this inning with an out, a double play ground ball, but a base hit here, now at a good count to do so with Eblin at the dish, can really open this game up a little bit with the bat standing on deck and Chris Brito and Jack Duffy, who for a large portion of this season was leading the Cape in batting average, waiting behind him.
Harris takes his lead from second, Shaw from first, both ready to run here. Again, 1-0, Braves your score.
And with Eblin's speed, especially as a lefty, is not a prime double play candidate.
Slicing fly ball down the left field line. Flores will watch it land foul by about 5 feet. Count evens up at 2-2. So with 2 strikes, Eblin getting a pitch on the outside black, slapping it the other way, just a little bit too much side spin on it. So he'll have to retreat back to the left-hander's batter's box. We saw him really battle with 2 strikes against Amaral his last time up. Again, another opportunity here to really raise that pitch count. Currently, Amaral at 30 strikes to 15 balls, so 45 pitches through 2 1/3 of an inning's work. Middle of this Braves lineup threatening here. The Braves, who have scored just 1 run in each of the last 3 games, looking to pick up the magical run number 2, if not more, right here. Inside move to second. The throw almost hits Harris, but it's caught by the shortstop Patelli. So no damage done on that one, as Eblin awaits the 2-2. Arms left to right in the outfield, Tito Flores, Cole McConnell, and Philip Matulia. So runners take their leads once again here. Amaral from the stretch, his 2-2. Swing at a pop-up, shallow left field. Patelli ranging onto the outfield grass, shading his eyes. He'll make the catch for out number 1. So Eblin retired, again battling with 2 strikes. And now Amaral, a ground ball double play away from getting out of this inning. So that brings up Chris Brito to the plate.
Brito, a guy who stung one to the warning track his last time up.
Brito responsible for the only 2 runs the Braves have scored over the last 9 innings. Again, the home run in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. And then drove in Matt Shaw from third base back in the first inning on a sacrifice fly to center. Now has 7 runs batted in on the campaign.
And a really big hole on the right side of the infield for a guy who loves to go in that direction.
First pitch, swing a line drive center field. McConnell will take a couple steps back. He reaches up to make the catch about 5 feet in front of the track, as that will end the inning. The Braves strand runners on first and second with 1 down as they evade the single from Shaw and the single from Harris. Running to the top half of the 4th inning. Braves lead it 1-0 on the Braves Television Network.
Keep up to speed with the Braves when you're away from Doran Park by visiting our website at bornbraves.org, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Instagram and Facebook. You'll be kept up to date all year long with the Braves.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
A night at the ballpark is one of the best ways to spend a summer evening with the family. With free admission to Doran Park and every field on the Cape, you can bring along the entire crew to experience a free night of fun at the park. Catch the best collegiate summer baseball league with the whole family all summer long, with tickets starting and ending at $0. To find the full Braves schedule, head over to our website, bornbraves.org.
It's time to go back to the ballpark. This is Born Braves Baseball.
First of the fourth inning, 1-0 Braves your score. After they threatened off of Amaral back in the third inning, stranding runners on first and second. They now have a run on 2 hits compared to Hyannis, no runs on 1 hit. Bryce Cunningham trying to get through the fourth inning here tonight after a very difficult fourth against YD last Tuesday.
Yeah, this would be a big milestone for him to get through this inning. Has to go through the teeth of this Hyannis order, though. Flores, Janis, and more due up in this frame. He's been cruising through the first 3, but we've seen this movie before. Can he get through the fourth inning? An inning, granted, is improving for a Braves pitching staff. They did give up 2 runs in the fourth against Brewster in the first game of the doubleheader and gave up none in game 2. So they've been getting better here in the fourth, but can Cunningham get around the heart of this Hyannis order for the second time?
First pitch to Flores is just a bit outside for ball 1. And again, we mentioned on the pregame show and early on the broadcast a couple of times, the biggest point of emphasis for Cunningham in the fourth inning back against YD was that he really didn't mix up his pitches any differently than the first time. As there's a shattered bat, cue shot back to the mound. Cunningham will field it with 2 hands and flip over to Burrito at first base in time for out number 1. So one of the more explosive bat breaks we've seen so far is the barrelhead went flying towards John Peck at third base. But a couple of quick pitches, 1 down, as that brings up Justin Janis to the plate. But back to what we were saying, for Cunningham, again, used that slider just about 2, maybe 3% more than he did the first time through against YD, but didn't mix up much. So we'll see if he changes things here. Again, it's been mostly fastballs so far first time through. It's the first pitch on the way to Janis is taken down low for ball 1. Janis singled back in the first inning. That's the only hit that this Harbor Hawks club has picked up today. They've had 2 base runners, most recently on the walk to Patelli to lead off the third. Here's the 1-0 from Cunningham on the way. Swinging a hard ground ball, right side, fielded on a couple hops by Burrito. He's going to win the foot race over to first base as he beats Janis by a couple of steps for out number 2. So that's an encouraging start for Cunningham. 2 up, 2 down as he sits with just under 40 pitches, or just over 40 pitches here in the fourth.
Yeah, he's really cruising at this point. You got to get that last out of this inning. Christian Moore, a tough customer to do that, who's off to a 3-game hitting streak in his first 3 games in the Cape. But there's not really any action down there in the Braves bullpen, just a couple of guys stirring. So now you start to look at, okay, can he get this last out of the fourth? And if he does, the 5th inning has to be his.
You would imagine so, especially with how much the pitching struggled back on Sunday. Cunningham working at a quick pace here. Moore steps out of the box. Cunningham already set from the first base side of the rubber. Shakes off Espinal once. Now he's ready. Here's his 0-1. Swing and a miss. A late hack on a fastball. Count jumps to 0-2.
Couple of rivals going at it here. Of course, Cunningham from Vanderbilt, the team that always thinks they're the #1 team in the nation. And Moore, the hitter from Tennessee, who was the #1 team in the nation for the majority of this season.
0-2. Got him. Foul tip held on by Espinal. That will end the inning. Bryce Cunningham, a tremendous start. 4 innings, has allowed just 1 hit, has struck out 4 batters along the way. Faces the minimum 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom half. Duffy, Peck, and Hensler when we return.
2021 was a historic season for the Bourne Braves. The Bravos captured the President's Trophy, given to the team with the best regular season record, and rode early success to the West Division title and a trip to the Cape Cod League Championship Series. Now in 2022, the Braves are back and look to replicate the success from a season ago without many of the faces that got them there. It's a whole new season of Bourne Braves baseball. Check out the full schedule on bournebraves.org and come join the party at Doran Park.
The Bourne Braves have enjoyed a long history of offering internships to college students who have worked in a myriad of capacities and performed any number of duties for the organization. Interns support everything from public relations, fundraising and concessions, to field maintenance, internet broadcasting, and baseball operations. The Braves will begin accepting applications for the 2023 season in September. Those interested should visit bournebraves.org.
Let's take you back out to the ball game. It's time for more Bourne Braves baseball.
Last of the fourth inning, 1-0 Braves your score as we cruise through this one. Pitching the story so far, Max Stanzone alongside Calvin Cristoforo here. As always, you're on the Braves television network. Bryce Cunningham now through 4 innings has allowed just 1 hit, has struck out 4 batters, and has faced the minimum in his last 3 innings of work.
Yeah, he's been dealing really sharp up to this point. Got through 3 innings, like we said, against YD, but struggled in the 4th. This time cruised right through the 4th. Broken back ground ball right back to him. Then a couple pitches later, a ground ball to first, then a 3-pitch strikeout.
Duffy stings this on a hop to the second baseman Moore. He's got it. That is in time to just retire Duffy by a step for out number 1.
And Duffy's going through it. He can't buy a hit right now. 0 for his last 8, and that one was stung. Just an atom ball. Moore, I should say, Christian Moore playing deep in the hole against the left-handed hitting Duffy. Played it on 1 hop, a charity hop right to him, and made the easy throw to first, even with Duffy sprinting down the base pass.
So here's John Peck, was very aggressive his last time up, opened up the second with a ground out to short on the first pitch he saw. Here's Amaril's first pitch here in the 4th to him. It's taken down away for ball 1, 1-0. Peck entering tonight, hitting .238 with 2 RBIs. Strikeouts have been an issue for him. Has struck out at least once in in 8 of his last 12 games. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss out in front of a breaking ball. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The strikeout rate not too bad, however. He struck out 14 times, so about 30% of his plate appearances entering today. Seen him drive the ball with authority to the right side. So the 1-1 is cut on a miss. Good breaking ball down into the zone. A big rip from Peck. 1-2 the count. And it seems like scouting report against him, not a lot of heaters.
Yeah, put the off-speed by him. That's what Amaril's been doing in this at-bat. But like you mentioned, he likes to go the other way. So all he needs to do is sit back a little bit more, because he can keep those hands back and still drive the baseball.
1-2, softly hit up the middle. Shortstop at Patelli to his left slides. He'll just have to hold on to it. That'll be an infield single. As John Peck, a ball with eyes on it up the center of the diamond, picks up the 3rd hit of the night for the Braves.
And that was a breaking ball. He just waited back on it a little bit longer. That one kind of hung up on him in the zone. Amaral, if he had to do that again, would probably try to bury that a little bit more. Didn't crush it, but put it where they're not. And that's exactly what you got to do if you're a guy like John Peck. A good single for him. That must feel good for the Braves infielder.
So here's Wyatt Hensler now. 1 on, 1 out. Hensler 0 for 1. Popped out to the second baseman and Moore back in the 2nd inning. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Got a fastball about letter high. Cut right through it. 0-1. Peck absolutely a threat to run over there at first base. 5 stolen bases so far in the summer. This Braves team, 2nd in the league in stolen bags, of course, behind Katuitt. They've been successful on 24 of 30 attempts.
Already 1 for 1 tonight as well.
0-1, swing and a miss. Another fastball that Hensler was behind on. He quickly falls behind at 0-2. Hensler was 0 for 3 in game 1 of the doubleheader back on Sunday. Average now down to 257, was hovering around 290 to the low 300s for a good portion of the week last week, but also a guy who's looking to get into a groove here just like Duffy, as there's a attempt over to first base, no throw over there. Peck gets back in safely. Carson Roccaforte on deck, then Al Espinal here if the inning extends that far. Again, 1-0 Braves your score here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Amaral fires the 0-2 well up and away. Snapper to the first base, picked on an in-between hop by Shanuel. Saving that one from getting to the outfield grass, 1-2.
Everyone's got John Peck on their mind, though, whether that be Amaral on the mound or the catcher Ruiz behind home plate. This Braves team, you got to think it's a matter of when, not if, they try to steal some bases, especially with a speedy guy in Peck.
1-2 cut on and missed for strike 3. So after 3 consecutive fastballs, Amaral challenges him with a breaking ball running away. It's his second punch out of the night.
Now with 2 outs, this could be a good time to try to swipe a bag. You get thrown out at second base, okay. You get Carson Roccaforte leading off your next inning, who has led off a couple of games for the Braves this season. And if you're successful, now you got Roccaforte up in an RBI situation here in the 4th inning. So I'd expect Peck to go here on the first couple of pitches in this at-bat.
Roccaforte worked a full count his last time up and ended up flying to center. That would end the second inning as he takes a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. So Amaral now through 3 2/3. 40 strikes to 18 balls. Just underneath 60 pitches. Here's his 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip from Roccaforte. Count quickly jumps to 0-2. So we didn't see too much swing and miss induced by Amaral back in his first 2 innings of work, but struck out Espinal for the first down of the third. Just recently struck out Hensler, and now he's quickly ahead of Roccaforte here at 0-2. Peck, a very healthy lead at first, as Amaral will step off. Shadows looming just a bit, but distance between the pitcher's mound and home plate still entirely in sunshine besides a stripe of a shadow at home plate. There goes Peck, 0-2, pounded down the first base line and foul. Count stays at 0-2.
0-2, good pitch to run on because more often than not it's a breaking ball. Was a curveball that time, but protecting because he has to as Carson Roccaforte with 2 strikes fouls it off, and now Peck has to retreat to his base at first. Steele could still be on here, though. He did throw a breaking ball last pitch, so Roccaforte at home plate might be trying to set up with a fastball up or potentially in here. Let's see if the steal is still on here in an 0-2 count.
Second baseman Moore playing well back onto the grass. The next pitch got him swinging for strike 3. After a difficult first inning, Amaral has struck out 3 batters now and is not allowed a run for his last 3 innings of work. We're heading to the top half of the 5th. Braves lead at 1-0 as they take on the Harbor Hawks for the second time in 4 days.
As a proud sponsor of the
The Bourne Braves organization is looking for families willing to host 1 or 2 players for the Cape League season. It generally runs from the first week in June to early August, and the bond between many host families and their players extend beyond the summer and form lifelong friendships. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, visit bournebraves.org.
Braves fans living on the Cape far from Doran Park? Too far of a drive to make the trip west on any given night? Well, don't worry, because the Braves are coming to you. The Bravos' full slate of games includes trips to all East destinations, including Orleans, Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, and Yarmouth, as well as West Division road trips to Cotuit, Hyannis, down south to Falmouth, and off Cape to Wareham. So wherever you are located on Cape Cod, the Braves will be in your area and are a can't-miss family fun activity. To see the Bravos' full schedule, head over to our website, bournebraves.org, and come join the fun.
This is Lane Forsythe, shortstop from Mississippi State, and this is Bourne Braves baseball.
After cruising through 4 innings, allowing just a single hit, Bryce Cunningham has bought himself another frame. He'll start the 5th at least against the Harbor Hawks as the Bravos lead it 1-0 in the top half of inning number 5. Back with Max Tanzer, I'm Calvin Cristoforo, and Max Cunningham is showing everything he showed in the first start, but is extending that success.
Absolutely, and then some, I would say. As that 4th inning, I think, was his best inning of work of the night. Very quick work, was able to do soft contact and then pick up the punch-out to put a period on it. And now he's going to get a little bit of an easier part of the lineup. Of course, things will start off with Cole McConnell, but after that you get Shanuel and Ruiz. An opportunity where I think he's just going to continue to attack the strike zone here. And again, a lot of balls on the ground so far. We've already seen a broken bat. He's got to keep that rolling here for the 5th.
McConnell, who flew to center his first at-bat, seeing Cunningham left on right for the second time and watches a backdoor slider cross home plate for strike 1. Action just starting to stir in the Braves bullpen. Hyannis' bullpen is relatively silent, so you think Amaral has probably bought himself a 5th inning as well. The 0-1 is in the dirt. The count has gone to 1-1.
And very similar to what we saw between these two teams last Saturday. Again, a 1-1 tie, and the starters were fantastic. Offense still a struggle for both of these clubs. Meanwhile, Hyannis, while they have been good not against the Braves, we've talked about it before both games. Be ready for some offense. They've really struggled.
McConnell slaps this one into center. He'll be on with a base hit. So this just the second hit of the night for Hyannis, but it is a base runner to start the inning here for the Hawks as they look for any sorts of offense, down 1-0 here in the fifth.
And that's a good start right there and an opportunity here to get to Cunningham. Again, second time through the lineup. The one negative here is you're getting to the weaker part of the lineup with Shanuel, Ruiz, and Patelli. But a good opportunity for these guys to take a step forward right here and try to manufacture a run themselves. And we've mentioned this team has been incredibly aggressive on the base paths. Would not be surprised if McConnell, who is in motion, who has good speed.
The bottom half of this order, 4 of the 5 of them hitting under the Mendoza line. Shamuel is the only one who isn't at 213 coming into play tonight. That's even lowered after his ground out back in the second. Squares to bunt but pulls back as he watches a strike on the first pitch. Hyannis has stolen 10 bases in their last 3 games, have not attempted a steal tonight. Another pitch in there for a strike. So after a leadoff single, Cunningham has climbed ahead of Shamuel here 0-2.
That's a good bounce back right there and exactly what you want to see if you're Scott Landers again. You give up some hard contact, some of the hardest contact we've seen over the last couple innings. Bounces back quickly and gets ahead 0-2.
Trying to punch out Shamuel. Here it is, up and away. Not even near the zone for ball 1. Will Sandy, the newest Bravo, just activated today or yesterday, is warming in the Braves bullpen, the big lefty from North Carolina. But the Bravos would love to get their starter, Bryce Cunningham, through 5 innings. Runner is going. The pitch is hit off the end of the bat into center. Roccaforte is there. Now attempts to throw back to first. It's going to be a long play, and it just is behind the runner in McConnell, who slides back in safely.
And that's a scary, scary moment when you're in McConnell's cleats right there. Again, was at second base. I think he had a tough time finding where the ball was hit at first. This was stung on the button off the bat of Shanuel, a tough break for him. By the time McConnell picked up that Roccaforte had this essentially in his tracks, did not have to even maybe move more than 3 steps. Almost was a little bit too late, but was able to get back in just in the nick of time.
So Cunningham is now through the worst of the Hyannis order. It's the lower third. And like I mentioned, all with averages under 200 on the season. Here's Pancho Ruiz, who came into play today, hitting 192. He lifts the first pitch into foul territory, third base side. Harris, the left fielder, gives it a look, but it falls out of play for strike 1.
Again, Ruiz being very aggressive as well here. I think they've gotten to the point in the game where they know this is Cunningham's last inning. So they're going to jump on whatever they see early in the count over the heart of the plate, not necessarily trying to grind out lengthy ABs.
Ruiz, the catcher, not the fleetest of foot, so a prime double play candidate for a sinker ball, ground ball pitcher in Bryce Cunningham. Braves haven't turned into twin killing tonight, but have had a couple of ground balls up the middle. McConnell back going once again. The throw by Espinal skips in on Eblin into short center field. Good job by Shaw backing it up as McConnell has the first stolen base of Hyannis tonight, who are now up to 11 stolen bases in their last 3.5 games.
And that's the second of the year for McConnell. And again, I think this throw was going to beat him right here from Espinal, but it was just an in-between hop to Eblin, and he could not pick it cleanly, so that's a tough break. And now just like that, with the snap of a finger, you have the runner, or the tying run in scoring position here with just 1 down.
It is an 0-2 count to the catcher nicknamed Pancho. Cunningham would love a strikeout here. Already has 4 on the evening. Slapped up the middle, Shaw on the move, makes a sliding stab at short, and throws across the diamond for a big second out.
Well, there it is. I was going to say we've been waiting for a nice, sparkling defensive play from Matt Shaw. And this one coming out a big spot right here. Again, was playing just about straight up at shortstop, maybe a couple steps towards the 6 hole. You saw him turn on those jets, slide to his left very gracefully to retire Ruiz, who he had plenty of time with, as you mentioned, not plus speed over there.
McConnell does advance 90 feet on the play, so he's at third, eligible to score on a pass ball or a wild pitch. Cunningham has to deal with Dominic Piatelli. As Piatelli looks at the first pitch, missed out and away. Piatelli grounded, was actually a victim of fielder's choice after he took ball 4, was retired 4-6. Trying to get on base for the second time, and with a hit, he would tie this game at 1. Bryce Cunningham on the mound, looking to get through 5 scoreless innings. Patelli just a 5 for 31 start to his camp campaign. Does have 4 RBIs, though, and a 5th would be big here for the Hyannis efforts in this ball game. The count is 2-1 to the Miami infielder. Cunningham's able to get Patelli out. He would have had retired every Hyannis Harbor Hawk in the starting lineup in this outing. But after walking Patelli in his first at-bat, the count has gone to 3-1 again, and the catcher Espinal needs to talk to his battery mate.
Absolutely, and again, he's been nibbling at the corners to Patelli, and I think that's probably what the conversation is between Espinal and Cunningham right here, who are very familiar with each other, again, both teammates at Vanderbilt, because you mentioned it, I think, when he walked Patelli back in the second inning, or make that the third inning, not a guy that you want to give a free pass, especially with his struggles. You do have the 9-hole hitter and Matsulia on deck, but I say command him right here. Go back and attack him in the strike zone, even with the hitter's count 3-1.
Patelli also a threat to steal, 3 for 4 on the season for Hyannis. A big 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Grounded first base side foul. The count has gone full.
So it's mostly been that fastball and the slider so far. We've seen the changeup a handful of times. And maybe this might not be a bad time to use it after Patelli out in front of that one right there. Looked like a slider running down and in.
You can see the shadows of the press box ranging down the first baseline. Full count pitch. Grounded to short. On a hop, Shaw fields, throws, and retires the batter, Patelli. The Braves let a runner on third base stay right there and keep the Harbor Hawks off the board through 5 innings here at Doran Park. Doran Park is the subject of that sentence where we're at right now, but not where we're about to go. It's time to go around the Cape with Ethan Frank.
No, time to go around the Cape, and here we go. Chatham trails Brewster 2-0 in the top of the 8th inning. The Whitecaps looking to win another game and try to get back into the lead of the East Division, where YD is holding serve right now atop the East. Speaking of YD, they're early on, a late start in Harwich tonight, 0-0 in the top of the first inning between 2 East Division teams, the Red Sox and the Mariners. An inter-division battle going on between Catuit and Orleans right now at Lowell Park. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. 3-1 lead for the Kettleers over the Firebirds. And a West Division clash going on at Spillane Field right now. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Doors up over the Gatemen 2-1. The Commodores been playing some good baseball of late. Falmouth is looking to get back into things in the West Division. Obviously, we have another West Division clash here tonight, where Bourne leads Hyannis 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. So there you have it. Brewster over Chatham 2-0, top 8. Catuit over Orleans 3-1, top 6. Falmouth leads on the road in Wareham, bottom 5, 2-1. And Harwich and Whitey just getting started at White House Field. It's 0-0 in the top of the first. Calvin, what shocks you about those scores?
Nothing really surprising. A lot of low-scoring battles going on around the region. Of course, here at Doran Park, the Braves lead at 1-0 on a first-inning sacrifice fly by Chris Brito. The Doors and the Gatemen playing tonight. I know the answer to the question here as Espinal rolls one of the shortstop Patelli, who throws him out. But there's definitely more Doors than Gates in the world. But have you heard the Doors versus Wheel conversation?
I have.
Are there more Doors in the world, or are there more Wheels?
I think we could be on this one for hours.
We could be.
And I have no answer for you. I mean, you might have to do some convincing here for me, because I haven't thought too hard about it. But, I mean, I got to imagine there's more Wheels, because Wheels typically will come in a set of 2 or 4, right?
Yeah, but you look at a car, right?
There's 4 as well.
And there's
See,
4.
there you go.
So
exactly.
They cancel each other out. Second pitch of the inning. This is also on the ground. Jeb has it at third, and quickly, to our God, as Amaral is putting together a really quick 5th inning. Okay, you don't. I think I'm definitely on Team Doors, which a lot of people are on Team Wheels. I'll up you one better. You can look at the field here at Doran Park. Are there more blades of grass or grains of sand on a baseball diamond?
I got to go grass there. I mean, you take a look at the entire outfield.
I differ. I'm on the other side.
Give me your explanation. Let's hear it.
Sand is so small. There are so many grains of sand scattered throughout the infield, and the warning track, which is wide, especially
the
here
warning
at Doran
track
Park.
I didn't think of, and the foul ground. So you're right. You have a valiant point right there.
And sand, a grain of sand is smaller than a blade of grass.
Yes. That's a good point. You're making all good points here. That's the first time I've thought of that one.
Big cut and a miss at a 1-0 fastball, as Amaral is quickly looking to get through this 5th inning. And with all the credit going to Cunningham pitching 5 scoreless, Amaral in his own right, a really good outing here for Hyannis. Here's the 1-1, 2-1.
I think he's doing us a favor. I mentioned we could talk about this for hours.
That's
and
true.
He's like, all right, let's get back into the dugout and move on.
I'm done talking about this. Comment in our YouTube live stream, more doors or wheels in the world, and on the field here at Doran Park, more grains of sand or blades of grass?
Now, if we're going over the outfield wall, I think grass wins by a landslide.
Yeah, sure, because there's a bunch of field out there and no sand or dirt. But on the field itself, I'm team sand/dirt, whatever you want to call it. Here's the 3-1. Little excuse me swing, fouled back. Not a good swing and a hitter's count there by Shaw. But he'll see another pitch as the count has gone full.
And that's a lot of respect right there. You're behind him 3-1, and he gets a breaking ball, a really good spot from Amaral as well.
Bryce Eblin waits on deck. Amaral looking to get through a quick 1-2-3 frame. The pitch. Flown to center. Matulia lost it in the sun for a second, but readjusts and makes the two-handed catch to retire the side. It's a pitcher's duel here at Doran Park. Braves still lead it 1-0 as we make the move to the 6th inning.
43 of the Braves' 44 regular season games this summer will take place on the Cape, but for the first time ever on July 25th, Polar Park, home of the Worcester Red Sox, will host a Cape Cod League game when the Bravos take on the Wareham Gatemen at 6:45. Gates open at 5:45, and admission is $10 to watch the Braves take on a West Division rival on an even greater stage.
The Braves are the reigning champs of the Cape Cod League West Division, but the West in 2022 is loaded again and as wild as ever. With 6 games against Hyannis, Wareham, Falmouth, and West Division runner-up Katuitt, it's a packed slate against division foes thirsty for revenge. To check out where and when the division matchups go down, head to our website, bornbraves.org, and check out the Bravos' full schedule.
After COVID-19 canceled the 2020 season and shortened 2021, this year will be the first since 2019 with a full 44-game schedule and an 8-team playoff. That means you can catch the Braves squaring off with each team in the West 6 times and each team in the East 4 times. It's a jam-packed slate for the Braves in 2022, and you can check out the squad's complete schedule on our website, bornbraves.org.
This is Wyatt Hensler, infielder from Pennsylvania, and this is Born Baseball.
This game is soaring by as we head to the top of the 6th inning already. And some added excitement here, Max, as Bryce Cunningham becomes the first Braves starting pitcher this season to pitch into the 6th. He leads it 1-0, and scattering just 2 hits and no runs in this ballgame has earned the tall Vanderbilt hurler the 6th inning.
And I think if you're Scott Landers, you would have taken 5. But after that really rapid 5th inning where he, of course, faced the minimum, Scott Landers is like, let's go ahead. Go out there for the 6th inning. Of course, we mentioned Sandy warming up at the bullpen down the left field line. He's probably ready to go once Cunningham or if Cunningham gets in trouble. But that pitch count in great shape, 40 strikes to 22 balls for a total of 62 pitches being thrown so far tonight. As he gets the bottom part of this lineup as well. So I think that definitely played a role into this decision as well.
Rocco Pepe is the pinch hitter. He'll pinch hit for Philip Matulia, who grounded into a fielder's choice in his only at-bat. Cunningham greets Pepe with a strike on the outside corner to begin the at-bat. Interesting to see how long Cunningham goes. The left-handed hitter and the leadoff man, Mitch Jebb, waits on deck. No Brave starter has pitched more than 5 innings of work. Cunningham, though, looks very sharp, just 65 pitches into his outing, painting the corners on pitch number 65 to climb ahead of Pepe 1-2. Working with some pep to Pepe. Here's the 1-2. By him, a swing and a miss for strike 3.
rack him up. Number 5 on the night, just the start he was looking for. And here's where the real task is going to start here for the right-hander in Cunningham. You get the top of the lineup. And again, I was curious if maybe Landers was going to allow him to face Pappy, the pinch hitter, and then go bring in Sandy for the lefty and Jeb, but he's going to leave him out here.
Facing Jeb for the 3rd time tonight. Braves have avoided the Jeb's wrath that he's put on the rest of the Cape League. He's 0 for 7 against the Braves, but coming off a 4 for 7 doubleheader yesterday against Chatham. Cunningham continuing to fill up the strike zone as Jeb fouls the 1-0 pitch back to us.
I didn't flinch on that one right there as well. I don't know if you noticed.
A little bit too high to flinch, so if you did, I think that'd be a larger issue. This is in play, third base side. Going back is the right fielder, but here comes Shaw to call off the third baseman for a quick second out. Boy, is Bryce Cunningham in a groove right now. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th, and still under the 70-pitch threshold.
Why not send him out for the 7th if he can retire Flores right here quickly? And I don't think that's part of the plan. Would love to see it, but again, soft contact on the pop out to third. He picks up the strikeout. And again, you get a tough bat in Flores here, but he's ready to go, working on that quick pace. And he's looking to put the bow on what's already been a remarkable outing tonight.
Cunningham is dealing. Can he get through 6? Grounded to short. Looks like he can. Shaw is on the move, and he throws him out. Bryce Cunningham in an absolute rhythm. 6 scoreless innings for the Braves starter tonight, and we head to the bottom of inning number 6. Still 1-0 Bravos on the Born Braves Television Network.
Missed the biggest part of the game? Don't worry, the Bravos have you covered. Catch the call of the game on the Braves Twitter @BoardBraves to hear the night's biggest moment. From big-time strikeouts to crazy web jets, game-winning home runs, and more, whether you hear it for the first time or you just want to relive the magic, the call of the game will bring back the best moment from the night that was.
Free! It's a word you don't hear often, but it's the only word in the Cape Cod League. Every single game on the Cape is free, which means you can bring the entire family, extended family, and the extended family for no charge at Doran Park or to any other game on the Cape. Catch the best collegiate summer league in the nation for absolutely no charge all summer long.
Cape Cod League Baseball is back on the New England Sports Network in 2022. NESN will feature 5 Cape League games on its airwaves this season, the first of which comes on June 30th when the Braves take on the Falmouth Commodores, and then the NESN crew comes to Doran Park on July 21st when the Braves host the Wareham Gatemen. All Cape League games on NESN start at 7, and the station will also feature the league's All-Star Game. It's the best summer baseball in the nation, and it's live on the same station as the Boston Red Sox all summer long.
Time to go back to the park. This is Born Braves Baseball.
Leading off the 6th for Bourne.
Not to be outdone, Austin Amaral is out for his 6th inning of work. The Braves starter in Bryce Cunningham got through 6. Still in line for a win. Braves lead at 1-0 as we play in the home half of inning number 6. 2-3-4 coming to bat for the Bravos. And what a feather in the cap of Austin Amaral would it be to get through the Braves' meat of the order for 3 times, allowing just a single run.
And this first pitch will be his 70th, so he's still in pretty good shape through 5 innings of work. And he went over 100 pitches twice this year at Stenson. We said it earlier. Of course, very likely will not be doing that tonight. This is very likely his last inning. But a guy who's been stretched out before as well. So both Cunningham and Amaral putting on a show this evening for the fans at Doran Park.
And the trend with Amaral and Cunningham that you've seen between the two of them, both of them have been filling up the strike zone. As off to the end of the bat, Eblin grounds one to third. Jeb on the run, tosses across the diamond, and just like Cunningham, Amaral gets a quick first out in his 6th inning of work.
Now 49 strikes to 21 balls for Amaral this evening, and you mentioned it, attacking the strike zone, but not just attacking the strike zone, doing it with quality strikes, staying away to Eblin right there, pinching that outside corner, forcing soft contact, which has really been the story this entire evening for both pitchers.
Brito has hit it hard twice against Amaral. He drove in the Braves' first run of this ball game and only run. And you look back at that first inning, how big was it at the time for the Braves to produce a run in that frame without getting a hit?
Monumental at this point right now. Of course, they've just picked up 3 hits since. And again, we mentioned it. Manufacturing that run at its finest. The walk, stolen base, and fly out to center to advance shot of third. and then the sacrifice fly. And that's something that this ball club has really struggled with over the last couple of weeks. They didn't even have too many opportunities to do so back in the 2 games on Sunday. Just 7 at-bats with runners in scoring position. And it's been the same story tonight, but they executed in their 1 opportunity.
This one's grounded hard to short, but Patelli's up with it and throws out Brito. So back-to-back ground ball outs. And Austin Amaral is putting on a show as he continues the heavyweight bout. Not someone he's going to see in the batter's box against him, but Amaral looking to counter his counterpart and get through 6 innings just like Bryce Cunningham did for the Braves.
And in the last 5 batters he's retired, all of which in order, 4 of those batters have grounded out. So that ground ball game really working here. Here's a guy who's grounded out twice as well in Duffy.
Both to the second baseman Moore. And it's a real shame that at this point in the ball game with the Braves leading 1-0, Austin Amaral, who has been special on the mound for Hyannis, is on the hook to lose this game with his team trailing 1-0.
And you look at some of the offensive numbers coming into tonight. Of course, the Braves have plummeted just a bit after their tough Sunday. But Hyannis at the top of the league in runs scored and hits.
This is popped up, foul territory by the Braves dugout, but it will stay in play. Going over is the third baseman, Jeb. He runs into Alan Espinal, who was on deck. Jeb looking for some interference, talking with home plate umpire Ed McAvin, and there's going to be no call.
Again, that's just a tough break. You have the bat boys down there behind the netting on the third base side, and that's exactly who it looked like Jeb ran into. I think Espinal was right over there too, and just a tough break. There's not too much you can ask him to do in that situation.
White Hensler checks on the bat boys over there, says they're both okay. Here comes Eric Beatty to argue. It was a pop-up third base side foul. There's a screen over there protecting the bat boys. And then the on-deck batter in Peck stands in front. And Alan Espinal, who's not even due up near this inning, just sitting on the chair behind the bat boys, the catcher taking a load off, got in the way of the third baseman Jeb, who granted was attempting to make a circus catch, but had a chance at it nonetheless. Jeb came up asking why was that not interference, and his manager's doing the same to home plate umpire Ed McAvin.
And I think the argument for McAvin, the home plate umpire, has to be that Jeb made contact with that netting first before he made contact with anyone else after that. And you can't necessarily expect anyone to move that screen back.
So McAvin will call in his other umpires. Steve Duran, the first base umpire, and Lou DeLuise, the third place umpire. I think from my first view, it actually wasn't Jeb who hit the screen first. It was the catcher Ruiz who ran into the screen, who was also attempting to come over, and Jeb's only hindrance was the Braves catcher.
And that would be interesting right there, and I don't think you could rule that against him right there, or I don't think you could rule that for him right there in that case. And honestly, at this point, too, I think both of the umpires, and they will call it a foul ball, I think both of the umpires in Lou DeLuise at third base and Steve Durance at first could not have had a better angle of that play than the home plate umpire did.
So potentially a second life here for Jack Duffy, and I'll tell you this much. That's an out at the Oakland Coliseum.
Yes.
Here's the 2-1 to Duffy. Big swing and a miss. The count has gone to 2-2. And after all this commotion, Austin Amaral is 1 pitch away from soaring through 6 innings of work.
I'll tell you, that's going to be a memory of a lifetime for those 2 bat boys, though.
2-2 coming from Amaral. Here it is. Foul tip into the mitt, and Austin Amaral is fired up. Why not? The Hyannis pitcher dealing in this one. Braves, though, still ahead 1-0 as we head to the 7th inning in a hurry here at Doran Park.
Curveball is where you go to become anything you want.
The Bourne Braves will be holding youth clinics this summer. They're for boys and girls ages 5 to 12, plus we'll offer 1 week of clinics for ages 12 to 15. For more information, visit the 50/50 table near the concession stand or visit our website at bournebraves.org.
Win or lose, there's always a Brave that sticks out on the field. Head over to our YouTube channel by searching the Bourne Braves, or head to @BourneBraves on Twitter and catch the post-game interview every night with a player of the game on game night with me, Ethan Frank. And as always, you have a say on who gets to chat with me. Tweet at us @BourneBraves and use the hashtag Player of the Game to submit your pick for the POG.
The stars of the Bourne Braves can't perform well with an empty stomach, and neither can the best fans in the Cape Cod League. Hungry at Doran Park? Visit our concession stand down the third baseline, serving your favorite ballpark classics, including hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn, cold drinks, and more. The concession stand at Doran Park is the place to go because the only thing better than watching the Braves live is watching the Braves live with a hot dog in your hand.
Live baseball every night. It's another summer on Cape Cod.
So tip your cap to Bryce Cunningham. 6 scoreless innings, the best pitching performance arguably for the Braves. Ryan Fisher did get through 5 without allowing a hit. But the Braves go to the bullpen, and here's Will Sandy, the newest Bravo from University of North Carolina, the lanky left-hander, making his debut for the Braves in a 1-run game here in the 7th.
And after a tough year in 2021, really bounced back this spring in 2022. 2.59 ERA over 12 outings for North Carolina. 6 of those outings starts, 24 1/3 of an innings work. Struck out 14 batters, did struggle with his command, 18 walks in that span as well. So after seeing Cunningham dominate the strike zone here, Sandy looking to do some of the same.
Cunningham was excellent, though, tonight. No runs on 2 hits for the Vanderbilt Commodore. Had a bunch of strikeouts as well. Struck out 5 Hyannis Harbor Hawks in this ball game. He's in line for the win. Heartbreakingly, his counterpart in Austin Amaral, who threw 6 innings in his own right, allowing just a single run on 3 hits, is on the hook for now. And Hyannis offense, though, looking to change that, will send their meat of the order in Janis, Moore, and McConnell to the plate here to face the new Braves pitcher in the 7th. Sandy now just the second left-handed Braves pitcher in the bullpen to counter Nelson Berkwich, who we saw pitch last time the Braves were at Doran Park. Sandy's first pitch is in the dirt. Here's the second. It's rolled to second base. Bryce Eblin, his 3rd putout of the game, retires Janis, who grounds to second to start this inning.
And he has been incredibly busy over there. This was one of the easier plays as he did not have to move a step. It's going to be a tough at-bat for lefties against Sandy because he almost closes himself off, which just hides his arm slot, making it just a little bit more deceptive. Of course, he'll get a right-hander up here and more. But a really good pitch to Janis running inside, getting him to roll over the top.
And I should say, Eblin's 3rd putout at first base has been assisted on 2 fielders' choices. And how can we forget the in-between-the-legs scoop to his middle infield mate in Matt Shaw to retire Piatelli, going from 1st to 2nd back in the 3rd inning.
And you could say all you want, Calvin, about the offensive struggles for this team, but they're making up for it, at least on the defensive side of things. I think we're seeing a couple of sparkling plays each night, and you could make quite the top 10 list already, and we're just a third of the way through the season with all of these fantastic plays.
Braves have flashed the leather a lot in this season. Their struggles have been with throwing the baseball, as the Braves still are 2nd in the league with 17 errors, 2nd worst in the league, only behind the Falmouth Commodores with 19. Two and 1 is the count here to Christian Moore. Couple of strikeouts on his ledger as he looks to continue his 3-game hitting streak. The 2-1 rolled to short. Shaw fields it on a couple hops, makes the throw across the diamond in a good stretch by the first baseman Brito. Retires Moore for the 2nd out of this inning, both on bounce outs.
3 consecutive groundouts now combined between Cunningham and then to end the 6th, and 2 to start things off here for Sandy. And it looked like a tricky hop late on Shaw right there, which maybe was one of the reasons why he was struggling to transition the ball to his throwing hand, but nonetheless was able to retire Moore, who runs well in time.
Espinal and Sandy working together for the first time of a long conversation on the mound. Trying to get through Sandy's first inning of work, sending the Harbor Hawks down in order, has already retired Janis and Moore. Now looks to do the same to Cole McConnell, who was left on 3rd base his last time up when Hyannis failed to score him from there in the 5th inning. McConnell on the evening, that single that allowed him to go on base, and of course his fly ball to lead off the 2nd inning. Braves pitching, looking for their fourth 1-2-3 inning of the night. Off the end of the bat, lifted into center. Rockefort is there, and it is another 1-2-3 inning as Will Sandy comes into the game and picks up right where Bryce Cunningham left off. Stretch time here at Doran Park, so let's stretch our cameras and send it down to the sideline with Ethan Frank.
Oh, Calvin, yeah, it is a great time for a stretch, but we have to keep talking about Bryce Cunningham from Vanderbilt, who is just absolutely marvelous on the mound tonight, the longest starter by a Braves pitcher this season, and this is absolutely what this team needed right now because the offense still just isn't there at this point. So having a guy with like Cunningham, whom myself and Mac Friday talked about on Before the Bravos, with chemistry with his battery mate and Alan Espinal behind the plate, doing a very, very good job on the mound, and then Will Sandy coming in his first appearance and looking lights out there in the top of the seventh. This strong pitching performance is exactly what the Braves need, and it really is a formula for winning right now. Good pitching, strong defense, and we'll see how the rest of this game plays out, but it's going in the Bravos' favor so far with this strong pitching.
Well, Ethan, thanks so much. The Braves bats will look to keep it going when we come back here on the Born Braves Television Network. New pitcher coming on. We'll step aside. 1-0 is the Braves' lead in the middle of the seventh.
BornBraves.org, the official website of the Born Braves, is your one-stop shop for everything Bravos. From directions to the ballpark, the full game schedule, team information, game recaps, roster news, and more. BornBraves.org is the place to go for information on your favorite team on the Cape.
This is Born Braves Baseball on the Born Braves Radio Network. You can listen to all 22 Braves regular season contests away from Doran Park here on our YouTube live stream. Can't make it to Chatham? 2-1 out for Wareham? Too busy for Brewster? Not to worry. Just search the Born Braves on YouTube, sit back, relax, and enjoy a summer night listening to your favorite team on the Cape.
This is Ryan Fisher, right-handed pitcher, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Go Born Braves.
Austin Amaral's night is done, and luckily for the Braves, that guy is no longer on the pitcher's mound. 6 innings of work for the Stenson Hatter, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run in an inning where the Braves did not get one of those 3 hits. He gives way to the Ohio State right-hander who makes my all-name bracket in the 6'5" hurler, Ethan Hammerberg.
He's got to be working with a good hammer. I mean, come on now. And he stands at 6'5", so not as tall as the 3 arms we saw for Brewster back on Sunday, but still tall either way. This will be his 5th outing of the year, 2.25 ERA, 3 strikeouts to 3 walks in 4 innings. Most recent outing was in the 4-4 tie last Sunday in the doubleheader, the game 2 of the doubleheader against Chatham, where he went a third of the inning and retired the only batter he faced.
So one of the most used pitchers out of the Hyannis bullpen. He will see 5, 6, and 7 for the Braves, Peck, Hensler, and Rockefort. As Peck, who hit a single in the infield off the end of the bat in his last debut, looks to get back on base here, lead off the Braves' 7th inning.
And that's where he fell behind in the count, got a breaking ball running away from him, but still about bell tie, and sat back just long enough to serve it up the middle and beat it out as Patelli was able to stop it. But let's see if that gets something going here for Peck.
Peck, who we've talked about all season long, has struggled at taking strike 3. 14 Ks on the season, has struck out in 8 of his last 11 starts for the Braves. Is behind in the count 0-2, but his hit last at-bat was with 2 strikes. Braves looking to get their third baseman on. Here's the 0-2. Jess misses. The Harbor Hawk fans over our left shoulder wanted that, but the count has gone to 1-2.
And a really, really good take right there. Just about maybe an inch or 2 off the outside corner of the plate. We'll see what Hammerberg comes back with right here.
This one slammed to the shortstop, but right at Piatelli, who with quick reflexes makes the catch in the hard liner as a loud first out starts off this 7th inning.
And it won't show up in the scorecard, but hopefully that's a sign of good things to come for John Peck, because that was one of the harder balls we've seen him hit over the last couple of starts for him. And again, the shortstop of Piatelli just had it played perfectly over there. But some hard contact after Amaral was able to essentially consistently induce soft choppers all game long. So maybe a sign of good things to come here for the Bravos.
Hammerberg, the pitcher, has fallen behind Hensler, who is now the batter for the Braves, 2-0 to start this at-bat. White 0 for 2 in the night, a weak pop-up to the second baseman Moore, and then a strikeout in the fourth. Good hitters count, though, 2-0. Fouled off his foot for strike one.
Got a good pitch right there and took a good rip at it. And Hammerberg's going to be a tough to face for right-handers, particularly. Again, super tall on the mound. Also, straight up in the sunshine. Everything else in front of him, the 60 feet inches between him and the plate covered in shadows. So that ball's going to be coming over the top, out of his hand in the bright light of the sunshine, and then quickly go into the dark.
Hensler skies it to right field. Pepe lost it in the sun, now is twisted around, but makes the catch, tumbling towards the warning track.
And you've mentioned it before a couple times over the last week where the sun shines straight into the eyes of the right fielder, especially when we get towards sunset. And that's the second time in the 3 innings that we've seen the right fielder, Amatulia, struggle out there and get a late jump. And again, this one started slicing on him late, which is why he had to backpedal awkwardly towards his left. But a big play, because if that gets by him, Hensler's on 2 at least, if not potentially 3 with how deep it gets out there.
So the bases are empty for Carson Roccaforte, who hits for the 3rd time. Braves looking for some insurance here. They just lead it 1-0 on the first inning sacrifice fly by Chris Brito.
And that's now 10 batters in a row retired here for the Harbor Hawks as a pitching staff.
Last base runner was Peck, who we just saw fly out his single back in the 4th, which even as fast as this game is going seems like forever ago. Roccaforte looking to extend this inning to his catcher, Alan Espinal, who waits on deck. 1-1 pitch coming to the center fielder. Just missing off the outside part of the plate for ball 2.
That's a pitch Hammerberg make that is going to have to get tonight. A backdoor breaking ball that looked to catch the outer third, but Roccaforte will take it. Let's see if he takes advantage of the break.
Here comes the 2-1, also in the dirt, and the count has gone to 3-1. You can imagine the Braves would love a base runner here, especially a fast one, in Carson Roccaforte. Trying to get the pitching staff just the slightest bit of breathing room. Here's the 3-1. Down and in, and they do have that base runner, ending the streak of 10 straight retired by Hyannis pitchers. Carson Roccaforte takes his base, and now there's 1 on with 2 away for the catcher in Alan Espinal.
And this has to be an opportunity where Roccaforte is going to be thinking about running right now. You mentioned it earlier when Roccaforte was at the plate a couple of innings ago with Peck over at first base and 2 down. Similar spot right here. And again, Espinal can sting one of the gap like we saw last weekend, but got to get him in scoring position.
Little check swing that time over the Hyannis dugout, first base side foul. The first baseman in Samuel is holding Roccaforte on, which is a smart move because Roccaforte is a threat to steal the base. And playing up the middle, potentially expecting that steal, is Moore, the second baseman, which means the right side of the infield is open for business if Espinal can roll one that way. Dancing off of first is Roccaforte, and now the pitcher in Hammerberg notices and steps off.
And of course, Roccaforte, the first base runner on base against Hammerberg, just trying to figure out that timing of the right-hander.
Espinal trying to extend this inning, has fallen behind in the count, 0-2. We've seen the Braves run on this count earlier in this ball game. Is the steal on here with the catcher Espinal behind in the count? 2 strikes to no balls. Roccaforte is going. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt to the back screen. Roccaforte cruises into second, and now he's in scoring position if Espinal can find some green out in the outfield.
That's a big, big play. Stolen base number 2 for him on the year. And again, got there without a contest, of course, as the ball went to the backstop. The 2 outs will be going on contact as well, so he's ready to go off to the races.
And even with the runner now on second, Moore stays pinched up the middle. So that right side of the infield is still left with a gaping hole. Can Espinal get one in that direction? Here is the 1-2 pitch. Waved on and missed for strike 3. So Hammerberg allows the 2-out walk, but keeps a 0 in the run column for the Braves in the bottom of the 7th. We've played 7 full at Doran Park. Bravos lead it 1-0. There hasn't been a run scored in 6 innings in this one. And Hyannis, with just 6 outs to play with, looks to put a run on the scoreboard in a ballpark they haven't scored in 14 straight innings. 2 outs, 2 innings, I should say, left to go in this ball game. The score is the Braves 1 and the Harbor Hawks nothing on the Bourne Braves television network.
Only the best hitters in baseball.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve. That's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
For the first time since 2019, the full Cape Cod League playoff slate is back. Last season, just 2 teams from the East and West Division respectively played in the shortened playoff format, but this year there will be a full 8-team slate. 4 teams from the East and West will get a shot at the title. The Braves have missed the postseason just once since 2007 and look to make another run back to the title game in 2022, a series they lost a season ago. It's the Cape Cod League playoffs and they're back in full swing for the first time in 3 years. Grab your hot dog and your lawn chair. This is Bourne Braves Baseball.
First of the 8th inning is we are flying through this one here at Doran Park. 1-0 Braves your score. Max Sanders joined alongside Calvin Cristoforo. And pitching, if that's your game, well, this has been your game tonight. Again, tremendous starts from Bryce Cunningham of the Braves and Austin Amaral, of course, of the Harbor Hawks. They both combined to go 6 innings, allowing just 1 run. Again, that 1 run allowed by Amaral all the way back in the first inning. So Will Sandy, out of relief of Cunningham in the 7th inning, tossed a quick 1-2-3 inning. We'll get 6, 7, and 8 here in the Harbor Hawks lineup to start things off in the 8th. Here's Nolan Shanuel, the first baseman of the plate. The first pitch is upstairs for ball 1.
Shandy looked great in his Braves debut in the first inning, a 1-2-3 frame, couple of groundouts, and a flyout hit off the end of the bat of Cole McConnell. If that's any indication on what he should give you this summer, the Braves got a really good piece here in this left-hander from North Carolina.
And he's had a lot of experience. This spring was his 4th year with North Carolina. Just listed as a sophomore, however, getting extra years of eligibility, of course, due to COVID-19. So plenty of innings under his belt at the college level. So the next pitch is outside for ball 3. And we mentioned it when he came into the game. Walks were a little bit of a struggle for him. 18 walks compared to his 14 strikeouts. Those 18 walks came in 24 and 1/3 of an inning's work. In his 4 seasons over at North Carolina, over 120 innings, so the next pitch is in there for a strike.
You can't mess around, though, with this bottom of the Hyannis order. You got to attack this group that collectively has a batting average under 200.
Hitters count for Shanuel. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a hard line drive deep down the right field line. This one will hook foul just inside the fence and foul ground down the right field line. Shanuel almost taking advantage of that short porch down the right field line, 300 feet. Froggy's pole over there.
I've never seen a home run hooked around Froggy's pole. That's the closest I've ever seen. Off the bat, it seems like it fisted him. The question was fair or foul. They hit the fence. That was probably 5-6 feet away from being a Doran Park home run.
Haven't seen too many of those this year. Again, just one that came against Katuitt back a couple Tuesdays ago. 3-2 the count on Sandy. Here's his payoff pitch. Swinging a broken bat, looper shallow center. Eblin ranging out to shortstop in. Shaw lays out, can't hold on as he tumbles towards the ground. Will be a single for Shanuel, and what an incredible effort by the shortstop and Matt Shaw.
I mean, yeah, that guy almost just made an incredible catch, popped out of his glove. He probably thinks he should have caught that ball. But to anybody of normal defensive prowess, they're excited they got to that baseball. Shaw almost made an incredible catch, but Hyannis, with their 3rd hit of the ball game, has a base runner on here to start this 8th, and they got to be thinking, strike when the iron is hot. We haven't had many base runners on in this ball game. Just 4 guys have been on base, 3 hits and a walk.
And it looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter here for Pancho Ruiz. Again, what an effort by Matt Shaw over there. Almost held on to it. The ball was in the webbing of his glove, and it looked like his glove almost came off as he tumbled towards the ground and then popped out. It's going to be Jacob Campbell, another catcher on this roster, pinch hitting for Ruiz. So he'll likely slip right in the bottom of the 8th inning as there's a move over to first base. In 11 games this year, Campbell, 8 for 32 with an RBI. And game 1 of the doubleheader on Sunday was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Ruiz's night is done. He'll finish 0 for 2. Again, tying run at first base now in Shanuel. He has decent speed, 2 stolen bases this summer. First pitch from Sandy. Runs outside with an off-speed pitch, 1-0. Campbell, a product of Illinois Champaign. Standing at 6'1", 210 pounds. A senior this year, so one of the older bats here in the league this summer. As the 1-0 is skied to center. Rocafort galloping towards his right into left center. He's there. He's got it. 1 away. So a good bounce back for Sandy. And again, executed his pitch on the single to Shanuel. In fact, shattered his bat. Just a tough break for this defense as he hit that into no man's land. We'll see if Eric Beatty wants to put him in motion right here. We mentioned this team, talking about the Harbor Hawks, has been just incredibly aggressive. In fact, that's probably an understatement. Now 11 stolen bases in their last 3 games. They're 1 for 2 on attempts tonight. As if you flash back to the third, Alan Espinal nabbed Jeb to end the inning with an absolute laser over to the second baseman, Eblin. 1-on-1 out here for Patelli. First pitch is ground to the right side. Under the glove of Brito as it scoots into right field. Heading for third is Shanuel. He'll get there standing up as Duffy gets it back in. And you know Chris Brito would like to have that one back.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Made the classic mistake there. Thought about where he was going to throw it before he fielded it. Already had his eyes to see where Shanuel was in respect to the second base bag before he fielded that ground ball. So a light hit bloop single, a soft fly out, and a ground ball where the Braves probably think they could have had to, at the minimum, a ground out to the first baseman. And now there's runners on the corners, a night where Hyannis hasn't been able to score runs, a night where the Braves haven't been able to score runs. There is one job here for the batter who we saw come in last time he was at the plate, Rico Pepe. His second at-bat of the night came in as a pinch hitter. Get Shanuel home from third base. That's his one objective in this at-bat. The Braves looking for something, a hard hit ball on the ground right to someone, a pop-out somewhere, or a strikeout. That's what the Braves want. Hyannis wants essentially everything else.
And the Braves have not been a stranger to the ground balls defensively tonight. Again, the first 2 balls put in play against Sandy back in the second were both on the ground. One to Eblin at second, shot short. So runners in the corners now with 1 down. Shanuel at third, Patelli at first, both with good speed. The first pitch showing bunt is Pepe down the first base line, and Sandy's just going to have to put it in his pocket. Everybody is safe. Just a perfect bunt down the first base line, and we are tied at 1.
Just had some English on it, kept spinning, but not going anywhere, fair or foul. Pepe couldn't have rolled that down the first base line in a better spot than he hit that ball. They go with the squeeze play. It works to perfection, and it nets Hyannis, a base runner at first. So 2 are on with just 1 out still in this inning, and now it's the top of the order as Mitch Jeb is now at home.
Jeb 0 for 3 tonight. In fact, looking for his first hit against the Braves this year. Tough matchup for him with the lefty and Sandy on the mound. First pitch is in the dirt, smothered by Espinal for ball 1. So on what looked to be a potential inning-ending ground ball double play off the bat of Patelli, scooted underneath the glove of the first baseman Brito, which allowed at least for Shanuel to head to third base. He scores on the push bunt base hit. Now the Braves trying to keep this a tie game. Here's the 1-0. Runner goes. Pitches outside. Throw down to second from the knees from Espinal's not in time. And sliding in safely is Pepe, the back runner. Second and third now with 1 down. That's a stolen base for Pepe as he gets into second base. Meanwhile, Patelli moves over to third.
And Patelli at second base is just hop, hop, hop. Sandy didn't even give him a look. Didn't even look back at him. By the time that he swung his leg in the air to deliver the pitch home, Pepe instead Patelli was 3/4 of the way to third base. So now it's an even greater situation. A contact guy at home plate. With 2 runners in scoring position, the Braves infield drawn in.
2-0, pounder to the right side, picking it on in between Hop is Eblin. He bobbles, can't recover, everybody safe. Coming around to score from third is Patelli as the Harbor Hawks take their first lead of the night. Is now heading for second base is Jeb. No one covering, so he's in there standing up, but now the home plate umpire makes it the first base umpire, and Steve Durrance saying that time was called, so they'll send Jeb back to first. But either way, a tough break. Again, the infield was drawn in. This was a soft ground ball to Eblin at second base. Is now Eric Beattie having a conversation with home plate umpire Ed McAvin. He does not seem to be happy right there. Again, the second time that he has talked to the umpire crew tonight. But either way, runners at the corners now 1 down, 2-1. Harbor Hawks will score.
And they scored that a hit, which I'm not really sure how. A ground ball hit right at Bryce Eblin. Because if he fielded that clean, the out at first base would have been a simple 4-3 putout. But it's been sloppy defense for the Braves in this inning. I mean, the Braves, when they play clean D, they're a really tough team to beat. But you go back to that ground ball to Brito, which completely did a 180 on what this inning could have been.
Here's Tito Flores. He shows bunt, bunts through it. Snap throw to first base is not in time. Brito was charging on the bunt, so even if the throw was in time, the tag likely would not have been able to be applied. 0-1 the count.
So Hyannis going back to the small ball here, and why not? It got you a run the first time around. You want to stay out of the double play. Speedy runner at third base, and the guy who can handle the bat in Tito Flores at home plate. The squeeze was on the last time they had this first and third situation. Looked like Eric Beattie, the manager for Hyannis, was keeping it on.
Runner goes, move to first. Sandy's got Pepe in a rundown. Pepe now coming around to score. It's going to be a balk instead. As Scott Lander's now coming out, he's going to have a conversation with Steve Durrance. And again, if the balk is still held on here, which looks like it'll likely be the case, it'll be another run in, the third of the night to make it 3-1. And Jeb will head to second base. The umpires will now meet right here, so it's been a busy inning for Ed McAvin's crew, and it looked like it was just a simple move over to first base from the lefty in Sandy.
I didn't see anything from my vantage point, but granted, our first base umpire tonight in Steve Durrance has a much better angle than we do coming straight on.
I think the conversation that Sandy's having with Espinal right now, he just signaled that he came set. I think that's his argument. So maybe Durrance was saying that Sandy didn't come set right there. But again, they're going to actually put the runners back here. Look at this. Not too many times you see a call like that overturned. So no balk on the play.
I've never seen that before. Have you seen a balk overturned?
No.
Without replay?
Let's add that to the bingo card right there. Hence, you don't even really see balks challenged on a replay. So this is really something else that you don't see at the ballpark every night. So the run will be taken away. It's still 2-1. Jeb will head back to first, and Pepe has to come back out of the dugout and back to third.
What a wild inning this has become. If you're a Hyannis fan, you're loving every second of this. You don't like the fact that your runners just had to go back to first and third. But still, a crazy inning. The Harbor Hawks have taken the lead on a couple of unearned runs here. 2-1.
Welcome to the Cape Cod League, Will Sandy. Likely not the debut he was anticipating coming into tonight. Either way, trying to keep this a one-run deficit. The Braves a double play away from getting out of this inning. Again, it was 6, make that 7 shutout innings from this Braves pitching staff to start things off against Hyannis. And now 2 here in the 8th and counting here. Pepe takes his lead from third, Jeb from first. There's a move to first base. No balk called. Everybody's safe. The count stays at 0-1.
Everyone's safe, but everyone held their breath. Okay, is there going to be a balk called here or not?
So Flores a chance to break out of an 0-for-3 night. So far, the 7th leading hitter in the league coming into this evening. 0-1 the count. Another move to first base. Back in safely goes Jeb. Jeb absolutely a threat to run. Already tried once against Espinal, but was thrown out back in the third. Has 6 stolen bases on the season. Entered tonight tied for 4th in the Cape Cod League in that category. Runners take their lead. Sandy from the stretch here. The 0-1. Misses up and away ball 1. Count will even up. And if you're Tito Flores at the plate right here, what was that, about a couple minutes in between pitches?
I was just about to say, that must have been one of the longest in-between pitches, because if you remember, the first pitch he squared around.
That's right. That's right. The bump play was not on there. The count now even at 1. Flores has driven in 6 runs this summer. Pepe represents the potential number 7. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. A good breaking ball on the outside corner. 1-2.
What a big strikeout this would be to leave those runners at first and third. Hyannis has already taken the lead of this inning 2-1. But the Braves, a really struggling offense right now with 1 run on 3 hits, which they had in both of the games at Brewster. A 1-run deficit is a lot closer than a 2-run deficit.
Justin Janis on deck. Here's Sandy's 1-2. Way outside for ball 2. The count will even up. And you can see Sandy right there, not even giving Mitch Jebb at first base a chance to take a lead. He's coming set, and then he's chucking. Again, knowing that this Harbor Hawks team is very aggressive. Flores 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out once. That was all the way back in the first via Bryce Cunningham. Sandy from the stretch. Runner goes 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball left center field and deep. Harris sprinting back towards the track. Showing his numbers. This one's off the track and over the wall for a ground rule 2-run double. So Tito Flores breaks open the floodgates here. A 4-run top of the 8th for the Hawks. They lead it by 3.
And even though the runner in Jebb was going on the play, he was on first base. So they're going to send him back to third. As that time, you mentioned not coming set and throwing. Jebb timed it up. So Jebb, right when he came set, just started to take a walking lead off of first base and went to second. The pitch was down the middle of the plate. And Flores, who's having a really good season for Hyannis, did not miss it. Missed a home run by a matter of feet. And Hyannis has broken this game open, still with a chance to do damage, up 3-1 now in the 8th.
That will be it for Will Sandy in his Braves debut. He'll be responsible for both Flores at second and Jebb at third base. And again, the Harbor Hawks still threatening here. They're up by 2, 3-1 your score. Our right-hander coming in for the Braves. We'll tell you all about him when we return.
Missed the biggest part of the game? Don't worry, the Bravos have you covered. Catch the call of the game on the Braves Twitter @BoardBraves to hear the night's biggest moment. From big-time strikeouts to crazy web jets, game-winning home runs, and more, whether you hear it for the first time or you just want to relive the magic, the call of the game will bring back the best moment from the night that was.
Free! It's a word you don't hear often, but it's the only word in the Cape Cod League. Every single game on the Cape is free, which means you can bring the entire family, extended family, and the extended family for no charge at Doran Park or to any other game on the Cape. Catch the best collegiate summer league in the nation for absolutely no charge all summer long.
Cape Cod League Baseball is back on the New England Sports Network in 2022. NESN will feature 5 Cape League games on its airwaves this season, the first of which comes on June 30th when the Braves take on the Falmouth Commodores, and then the NESN crew comes to Doran Park on July 21st when the Braves host the Wareham Gatemen. All Cape League games on NESN start at 7, and the station will also feature the league's All-Star Game. It's the best summer baseball in the nation, and it's live on the same station as the Boston Red Sox all summer long.
This is Nelson Berkwich, left-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt University, and this is Braves Baseball.
Tavern and Grill. Ticket number
Well, you just heard from Nelson, his Vanderbilt teammate, and Bryce Cunningham, just spectacular tonight. 6 innings of shutout baseball. But the Braves bullpen and defense not able to hold on to that lead now. 3-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. Runners on second and third, one down. The Harbor Hawks still threatening as the Braves bring in right-hander Tyler Vogel.
4th outing of the season for Vogel. In 4 2/3 innings of work, an ERA just under 2, has allowed just 1 earned run and 1 singular hit in his 4 2/3 innings. 6 strikeouts, but 4 walks. So walks have been the issue. And this inning completely changed when Chris Brito let that ball go between his legs. Almost had an inning-ending double play. And it's turned into a 3-1 lead for Hyannis. And if you're the Harbor Hawks here, you love the spot you're in. Not only do you have a chance to buy insurance here if you can get another hit or 2 in this inning, with a 2-run lead against a Braves offense who has scored 4 runs in its combined, quick math here, 30 innings.
Some good math right there. 1 down, second and third, infield drawn in for Justin Janis. A threatening bat here for the Harbor Hawks. He's 1 for 3 tonight, singled in the first, 2 ground outs. And again, like you mentioned, a 2-run deficit seems like a lot more with the offensive struggles for the Braves, so Vogel will try to keep it that way.
And now with the infield drawn in, you can put a blooper and score 2 runs here. There's so many different aspects of this field that open up for Hyannis offensively for a place to get a base hit, with the Braves infield being forced to be drawn in.
Absolutely, and anything on the ground that's not right at one of these infielders, particularly hit hard, likely gets through as well. 1-0. Upstairs gets to the backstop. That's going to send Jeb to the plate. The flip from the catcher at Espinal is not in time. Quite an effort by the pitcher and Vogel. So another run in for the Harbor Hawks. It'll give them a 4-1 lead right here. And again, a pitch, a fastball upstairs, glanced off the glove of Espinal all the way to the backstop. And Jeb with good speed dives in head first to score the Harbor Hawks' 4th run.
Pitch just got away from Vogel that time, straight to the screen, and with the runner on third base. It was a difficult trot home because of the brick facade behind home plate, but still being able to make it was the runner Jeb, and Flores is still 90 feet away, which means the Braves infield remains in here.
So 2-0 the count here as Vogel looks to walk the tightrope. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Braves will send up 9-1-2 as they look to inch back. Vogel from the stretch is 2-0. Breaking ball misses down and in, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
And you got to feel for Bryce Cunningham here, who was in line to win one of the best pitch games of the season. Definitely second, if not one. 6 innings to work along his outing for the Braves pitcher. But the Braves defense just coughed it up here on the 8th.
3-0 is swung on and flown to the air. Left center field, Roccaforte sprinting back towards the track will reach up to make the catch. Tagging from third is Flores. He can walk home. Another run in for the Harbor Hawks. They take a 5-1 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And we mentioned it over the last couple of nights. They've been averaging just about 5 runs per game, and they've hit that lucky number. It took them 8 innings, but they'll take it, a 4-run lead. And if you're Austin Amaro, you're getting to the no decision now after what looked to be on its way to a very tough loss where he tossed 6 innings, allowing just 1 run, which came back in the first on a walk that he would probably like to have back that led off the game to Shaw. The first pitch on the way to Moore is taken upstairs. Now Ethan Hammerberg in line for the win here for Hyannis. And again, we'll see. Maybe they go to some of their lower leverage guys here for the final 6 outs of this game, or if they stick with Hammerberg, who just threw a third of an inning in Game 2 on Sunday. 1-0, a strike on the outside corner. Count will even up here on Moore. Moore, the 8th batter to come to the plate in this inning. Again, the inning started with the bloop single off the bat of Shanuel, in which Matt Schott, shortstop, almost made a spectacular diving grab in shallow center. It's the 1-1. Is hit softly off the hands of the bat. Flips right to the second baseman, Evelyn, who catches it on a line to end the inning. But not before this Harbor Hawks offense sends 8 to the plate, explodes for 5 runs, catching some breaks on the error from Brito and a couple of miscues on the Braves defense. Running to the bottom of the 8th, Bourne has 6 outs to work with to score 4 runs. They'll send up Dakota Harris to lead things off when we return live on the Braves Television Network.
2021 was a historic season for the Bourne Braves. The Bravos captured the President's Trophy, given to the team with the best regular season record, and rode early success to the West Division title in a trip to the Cape Cod League Championship Series. Now in 2022, the Braves are back and look to replicate the success from a season ago without many of the faces that got them there. It's a whole new season of Bourne Braves baseball. Check out the full schedule on bournebraves.org and come join the party at Doran Park.
The Bourne Braves have enjoyed a long history of offering internships to college students who have worked in a myriad of capacities and performed any number of duties for the organization. Interns support everything from public relations, fundraising and concessions, to field maintenance, internet broadcasting, and baseball operations. The Braves will begin accepting applications for the 2023 season in September. Those interested should visit bournebraves.org.
This is Seth Keener from Wake Forest, right-handed pitcher, and this is Bourne Braves Baseball.
Welcome back to Doran Park, bottom of the 8th inning. The Braves have some work to do, trailing 5-1 after the Harbor Hawks put across that many in the top of the 8th inning. Some defensive replacements now after pinch hitting for Pancho Ruiz. It'll be Jacob Campbell remaining in the game at catcher. And heading over to second base will be Ricky Nishida in place of Christian.
Attention, please. Now playing second base for Hyannis.
Beat Dakota Harris to lead things off here against Ethan Hammerberg.
Nishida.
for his second inning of work after a very quick bottom of the 7th inning where he did walk one batter in Rocafort. And at the time, Calvin, when Rocafort stole second base, we were talking about that being some huge insurance. But now they find themselves down by 4.
The insurance policy has been voided.
No doubt about that, as the first pitch on the way to Harris is a breaking ball down and in for ball 1.
So now you got to scratch your claw. Look, you got to take every at-bat like it's the last at-bat you have. You only got 6 outs to play with. You haven't scored more than 1 run in a game since the 4-2 win against Orleans Friday night. Seems like forever ago. You've scored 4 runs in your past 30 innings. Something has to change for the Braves if they want any shot to come back and win this ballgame.
2-0 to Harris is a fastball upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. So this is a good start. After Harris, it'll be the top of the Braves lineup in Sean Eblin, who are due up 2nd and 3rd in this inning, as they look to get something going. Again, earlier in the game we saw as that one's taken upstairs for ball 4, so Harris will take the walk. We saw Elijah Nunez taking some hacks in the batting cage just at about the beginning of the bottom of the 7th inning, so he could be a potential pinch hit opportunity for the Braves if they find themselves in a good spot. Again, he's been sidelined for the last few days with a lower half injury. Now we're going to see him meeting at the mound as Eric Beatty walks up the hill here. Again, it looks like a lefty. It is a lefty starting to warm up down in the bullpen for Hyannis. Campbell just threw a third of the inning, faced 1 batter against Chatham on Sunday. Before that, his last outing was 5 days earlier. So again, should have plenty of bullets left here in this game as he gets the pat on the shoulder and everyone would retreat back to their positions.
So a good start here by Harris, though, to take the leadoff walk for the Braves. You can't score 4 runs on 1 swing unless the bases are loaded. So you got to keep the line moving. That needs to be everyone's approach. Hyannis had just the 1 big hit in that inning. It was a ground rule double by Flores. Other than that, it was a couple of bloopers. Granted, the Braves coughed up with a couple of errors.
And a bunt single as well.
And a bunt single. So the Braves just need to keep the line moving, get as many batters to the plate in this inning if they want to find their way to come back in this frame, which would be a crazy comeback the way the Braves have been hitting tonight. I don't know if the Braves have had a 4-run inning all season.
Good opportunity for Shaw to get them closer to that as the 0-1 is smoked on the ground to second, fielded by Nishida just into the game. Goes to second for 1. The relay to first base from Patelli is in time. 4-6-3 twin killer. Immediately eliminates the potential rally as there are 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
What a play by Nishida, who has had his struggles defensively so far this season. 4 errors for the second baseman who came in as a defensive replacement. Went down to a knee, made himself small, took it off the chest, made the flip to Patelli, who made the running throw over to first. Not what the Braves needed. In fact, quite the opposite of what the Braves needed, as after a leadoff walk, a double play quickly erases the Braves' momentum to claw their way back into this game in the 8th.
Eblin swings at the first pitch, pops it up third base side. Jeb, the third baseman, is there behind the bag. He's got it to retire the side. So after the leadoff walk, Hammerberg induces the 4-6-3 twin killer, faces the minimum in the 8th. He's now tossed 2 scoreless innings in relief of Amaral. He's in line for the win. His Harbor Hawks will look to get him some more insurance as we head to the top of the 9th. They lead it 5-1 here on the Braves Radio Network.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve. That's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
For the first time since 2019, the full Cape Cod League playoff slate is back. Last season, just 2 teams from the East and West Division respectively played in the shortened playoff format, but this year there will be a full 8-team slate. 4 teams from the East and West will get a shot at the title. The Braves have missed the postseason just once since 2007 and look to make another run back to the title game in 2022, a series they lost a season ago. It's the Cape Cod League playoffs and they're back in full swing for the first time in 3 years.
This is Nigel Belgrave, pitcher from the University of Maryland. This is Born Braves Baseball.
First of the 9th inning, 4-run advantage for Hyannis as they lead it 5-1. Tyler Vogel out for his first full inning of work tasked for him this evening after coming in relief of the lefty and Will Sandy, who got into a lot of trouble back in that 8th inning. Couldn't catch some breaks, however, as well as the infield defense for the Braves coughed up a couple of plays, including that big E3 that was granted to Brito over there at first base and what looked to be a potential inning-ending ground ball double play. So it'll be 5, 6, and 7 up here against Vogel. Cole McConnell, the only man that did not come to the plate in that 8-batter 8th inning. Looking for a second of the night. He singled back in the 5th. The first pitch is taken down and in for ball 1. So Vogel, the third pitcher used tonight for the Braves. Again, things started with Bryce Cunningham, who twirled 6 shutout innings after his start against YD over at Yarmouth Dennis. As the next pitch is ground to the right side. Eblin to his left, stabs it on a hop on the run, throws to first base, 1 away.
And you talk about Will Sandy's outing for the Braves, and it wasn't bad. That 5 number in the scorebook is going to look really poor, but I'm interested to see how many of those runs are officially earned or unearned. But a ground ball double play could have gotten the Braves out of this inning, but Chris Brito let it roll through his legs, and after that, a suicide squeeze, another poorly played ball in the infield, then a big ground rule double gave Hyannis that 5-1 advantage.
Shot to his left, he's got it, throws over to first base, picked on the back end by Brito, 2 quick outs. For Sandy, his final line, an inning and a third, 4 hits, 5 runs, just 2 of them earned. So again, 3 unearned runs for him this evening.
And I think it could have even been less than that because officially they marked the ground ball to Eblin when the infield was in a hit, which I don't see how that could be a hit, but it was marked that way.
That was Pepe who grounded into the teeth of that infield drawn-in shift. First pitch on the way to the catcher, and Jacob Campbell is taken down the way for ball 1. Campbell came in as a pinch hitter back for Pancho Ruiz back in the 8th inning, flew out to center, and that's when it looked like Sandy was going to get back into things after giving up that leadoff single to Shanuel. Just a real tough frame for the Braves. 1-0, upstairs ball 2, 2-0, and really, you could go back the last handful of games. It hasn't particularly been the 4th inning, but you always are going to go circle that 1 inning for the Braves pitching staff, particularly for Ryan Fisher. There was that 3-run inning with back-to-back jacks in Game 2. Tonight, it was that 8th inning where, of course, the Hawks drove in 5.
And you don't circle that inning against Brewster if the Braves offense does anything.
Ranging towards his right is the right fielder, and Duffy, who slides and makes a spectacular catch in the corner down the right field line. He has been tremendous over there in right field as he covered a ton of ground to end the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Tyler Vogel as that sends us to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Braves down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 4. They'll send up Brito, Duffy, and Peck, looking to get back into this one when we return.
2021 was a historic season for the Bourne Braves. The Bravos captured the President's Trophy, given to the team with the best regular season record, and rode early success to the West Division title in a trip to the Cape Cod League Championship Series. Now in 2022, the Braves are back and look to replicate the success from a season ago without many of the faces that got them there. It's a whole new season of Bourne Braves baseball. Check out the full schedule on BourneBraves.org and come join the party at Doran Park.
The Bourne Braves have enjoyed a long history of offering internships to college students who have worked in a myriad of capacities and performed any number of duties for the organization. Interns support everything from public relations, fundraising and concessions, to field maintenance, internet broadcasting, and baseball operations. The Braves will begin accepting applications for the 2023 season in September. Those interested should visit BourneBraves.org.
This one is going down to the wire. Now back to Bourne Braves baseball.
Bottom half of the 9th inning, last licks for the Braves as they trail 5-1. It'll be Ethan Hammerberg out for another inning of work. This will be his 3rd frame if he can get through it. And again, looking to slam the door. He's in line for the win after inheriting a 1-0 deficit.
He's pitched solid. He's picked up right where his teammate in Austin Amaral, who had a special performance tonight, left off. If Hammerberg can close out this game without allowing a hit, it would be a 3-inning hitless performance for the Ohio State right-hander. And he'd get the victory here at Doran Park.
First pitch to Brito is a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Brito 0 for 2 tonight, but has driven in the only run for the Braves. That was a sacrifice fly to center to score Shaw from third back in the first inning. Braves were trying to hold on to that 1-0 lead, but after squandering a couple of opportunities with runners in scoring position, now find themselves behind 5-1. Brito now 1 for his last 12. He's really struggled, and in that span has no walks. And he still leads the league in that category with 11. So the 2-0 is a fastball that grazes the outside corner. 2-1.
And I'm surprised the way the defense plays him. Hyannis tonight has had the second baseman. In this case is Nishida. Earlier in the game it was Moore playing up the middle. There is a big hole on the right side. And if there's one thing Chris Brito wants to work on, he told us this season in the Cape, it would be hitting the ball the other way.
Next pitch misses inside, so they're challenging him inside, trying to get him to ground in that shift. A lot of times you'll see them try to pound him away to get him to roll over, but again, you mentioned it. He's a lot of balls with authority that direction. As the 3-1 is up and away for ball 4, so a good start here for the Braves. Brito reaches base for the first time tonight, his league-leading 12th walk. So that snaps a skid of a couple games without a free pass.
A walkless streak.
Absolutely, and look, the Braves will take base runners. They need them. Again, just 3 hits tonight. And in total, Amaral and Hammerberg, before that plate appearance, had allowed just 3 walks.
So Braves got a walk, though, to lead off the last half of the inning. Their last half inning hitting. That's when Dakota Harris took ball 4. But batter after, and Matt Shaw hit a very hard hit ball to the second baseman Nishida, who turned a 4-6-3 double play. Duffy looking to avoid doing that to try to keep this line moving and make this game at least interesting here with the Braves trailing by 4 runs in the 9th.
Duffy is grounded in Nishida's direction twice, 2 groundouts to second. That was Christian Moore who started the game. Again, Ricky Nishida coming in as a defensive replacement to open up the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 1-0 from Hammerberg. It's taken upstairs ball 2. So Hammerberg struggling with his command just a little bit here. And again, if the Braves can string along a couple base runners here, load the bases up, that would bring the tying run to the plate. Hitters count for Duffy. Check over to first base. Brito once again back in safely. And again, interesting that Hammerberg has Brito in his mind. Again, he has 2 stolen bases here, but up by 4.
Yeah, the run doesn't matter for Brito, but the biggest thing is you don't want Brito walking to second because that takes away the option of the double play.
2-0 is swung on and flown right center field. McConnell sprinting towards his left. He's there in the alley to make the catch for out number 1.
McConnell, another unsung hero this game, too. He's played a very well in center field tonight. A couple of running catches. That one I thought could have or might have been down for extra bases off the bat. But McConnell, who had a good jump at it, never stopped his full sprint and ran that down in right center field for the first out of this inning. A big first out of the 9th because now Hyannis is just 1 ground ball away from ending this ball game.
Here's John Peck. He's 1 for 3. Stung a ball to the shortstop, and Patelli back to open up the 7th. First pitch. Breaking ball outside, gets away from the catcher, and Campbell to the backstop. Scooting into second base with ease is Brito. So that does eliminate the double play that you were talking about. And now a ground ball very likely does not end this game. Again, 1 down, 5-1 your score. Hyannis, all 5 runs coming in that lengthy nightmarish 8th inning for the Braves. Wyatt Hensler on deck. 1-0 the count here on Peck. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken upstairs, 2-0. So 3 consecutive batters in which Hammerberg has fallen behind. Again, this is 3rd inning of work here. A little bit of action in the Hyannis pen. A lefty starting to toss down there. Doesn't look like too much urgency, however. 2-0. A strike at the knees, outside corner. Peck doesn't like it. 2-1. So a very patient approach so far here for the Braves. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. They were incredibly aggressive against Brewster. In Game 2, the Whitecaps threw 88 pitches. That was averaging just about 12 per inning. They faced the minimum 3 times through 7, 4 in the others. There's a swing and a line drive center field. McConnell racing in. He's there to make the catch at about the waist for out number 2. Back-to-back plate appearances in which Peck has stung it, but right at McConnell.
I'm telling you, McConnell plays a really sharp center field. Back-to-back catches he's made look easy. Neither of them were actually that undifficult to make. Leaves Brito at second, and now 2 away. The Braves down to their final out, on the verge of dropping 3 straight and going winless in their last 4.
So here's Wyatt Hensler now. He's 0 for 3. Brito takes his lead from second after reaching via the walk. First pitch is a fastball upstairs for ball 1. If you go to game 1, Brewster threw 94 pitches, which was averaging just about 13 and a half. So again, aggression was the weakness for the Braves on that doubleheader on Sunday. Scott Landers was very vocal about it after the game. Seems like a little bit more of an patient approach tonight as the next pitch is skied out to fairly deep left center. McConnell ranging back. He's there in left center. He squeezes it for out number 3. That'll do it. The Harbor Hawks put a period here on a comeback 5-1 win after 5 runs in the top half of the 8th inning. They move to 7-5-3 on the year, while the Braves fall to 5-7-3 on the campaign. Welcome back into the broadcast booth, Max Tanzer, Calvin Cristoforo. And Calvin, a tough one tonight. The Braves come out of the gates early, 1-0 lead on the Brito sacrifice fly. Shutout baseball after that.
Where have the bats gone? 3 straight games now, 1 run on 3 hits. Hyannis just really got it rolling. Austin Amaral was special. Hammerberg, the first guy out of the bullpen, went the rest of the way. 2 pitchers for Hyannis allowed just 3 hits, and the Harbor Hawks got a win here on the road at Doran Park. Braves stay winless in the division, and it was really the defense at the end of the day that let the Braves down. You don't want to score 1 run in a game. That's not a winning formula, but the Braves had an opportunity to still win this game, but a Chris Brito error in the 8th inning with a runner on first base trying to turn a double play, let the ball go through his legs. The runners went to first and third. Couple of plays later, a sac bunt, a ground rule double, a misplay in the infield. Hyannis has a 5 spot on the scoreboard in the frame and just never looked back. Yes, the Braves offense has to get going, but this was a winnable game tonight, still with the offensive struggles, and the defense was what copped it up.
It was Will Sandy on the mound for that 8th inning in his Braves debut. After a scoreless 7th inning, came out for the 8th, allowed 5 runs, just 2 of those earned because of the Brito error. So that's a tough break for him, a tough break for the Braves in general, as they just got a spectacular outing out of Bryce Cunningham, who got through the 4th inning, which was a bugaboo back in his first outing against YD, but then also topped it with a shutout 5th and shutout 6th.
And after everything went wrong after his departure, Cunningham is going to be an afterthought when you look back at this game, but he shouldn't be. The guy was absolutely exceptional. 6 innings of work, the longest outing a Braves pitcher has had this season. Allowed just 2 hits. He was shut down tonight on the pitcher's mound. The Ryan Fisher no-hitter through 5, and the Bryce Cunningham 6-inning outing, the 2 best pitching performances by far for a Brave starter this season. Unfortunately, his defense, not even his bullpen mates, his defense and his offense let him down tonight. He doesn't get the loss because he does by no means deserves the loss. He'll get a no decision, which is still unfortunate for the Braves hurler.
It was Austin Amaral on the mound for the Harbor Hawks tonight, who almost matched Cunningham. Again, 1 run. That scored because of the walk to Shaw and the sacrifice fly to Brito, but besides that, 6 innings of spectacular baseball as well. He gets the no decision. The Braves fall 5-2, fall to 5-7-3 on the year. That'll do it from us here in the booth. Max Tanzer, Calvin Cristoforo. But we're not done yet. Ethan Frank down the sidelines with the man himself, Bryce Cunningham, after 6 spectacular innings.
Thank you very much, Max. Here with our Braves player of the game, Bryce Cunningham. 6 shutout innings tonight, the longest outing by a Braves pitcher this season. What was really working well for you tonight?
Just fastball and slider, but everything seemed to be doing pretty good. So,
how much of an impact was it pitching here? And obviously your first start on the road last Tuesday. Did you feel more comfortable here? What made you have more success?
Yeah, definitely felt more settled in and just more relaxed. So that was good. Yeah.
And working with a guy like Alan, who you work with at school as well, what's the comfortability level there, getting to work with someone you obviously know from Vanderbilt?
Well, just knowing him personally and knowing that he's going to steal some strikes for me, it just makes my job easier.
Bryce Cunningham, 6 shutout innings for the Braves tonight, despite a 5-1 loss to Hyannis, the longest by a Brave starting pitcher this season. Definitely seeing more of that to come. Bryce, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. You can catch the Braves back in action tomorrow right here at Doran Park against the Harwich Mariners. That is the second game of the season between those 2 teams. We'll see you tomorrow night.